the phone, you will hear the difference. We are passionate about what we do. To us, you're not just another applicant. When you call on us, you are trusting that we have your best interest at heart, and we do. We treat our customers like family, and that's why our customers turn into family, coming back to us time and time again. We know you have many options when it comes to mortgage financing, and we appreciate the opportunity to earn your business. We are excited to hear from you. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our passion is just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-368, Equal Housing Lender.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Trump country. We live in the southeast. We drink sweet tea. We don't drink socialist Kool-Aid.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program. I'm your host, Joey Clark. No Eddie Bader today. Should have Troy Carrico joining us in an hour or so. And kicking off the show today, let's just jump right into it. We have Jeff Poor, host of the Jeff Poor Show there at 106.5 in the Mobile, Fairhope area. And, of course, he is editor-in-chief at 1819 News, 1819news.com. Jeff, how you doing this afternoon?
Doing well. How are you?
Life is good, other than I hate every time I turn on the news, especially right before a show, and you have another mass shooting, and you see the wall-to-wall coverage of it. Is it wise to kind of have a rule of this just happened, let's not speculate on it too much?
I don't know. It seems to be the new rule. What's been the latest exception? But you know what, though, Joey, if this were some kind of crazed Trump sycophant, it would be wall to wall now. So I don't know. I think it's just a world we have to live in.
Yeah, I think you're right. X has already picked up on who the shooter is, a transgender guy. Put out an awful video on YouTube, had a manifesto, had a clip that said kill Donald Trump on it. And it looks like 2 kids are dead, 9 other kids in intensive care, a few adults injured as well. Apparently shot up a Catholic mass. It's awful, evil stuff.
Yeah, just children too, right? I mean,
yeah.
That's, whatever his politics are, or her, whatever, I don't know, her politics are, or one thing, but it seems a little heartless to go straight there and not at least pause. These are little babies, right?
Yeah, and it's just to go into also that setting where it's little kids, it's a school, it's parents, it's a shooting gallery. If anybody's ever been to a Catholic mass or been to church in general, and apparently he offed himself in the parking lot after that. No extensive criminal history, they're saying. Early 20s. I hate seeing it. And, I mean, I don't know what much more to say than that. And I have to say, you're more the professional journalist. And so sometimes I find, especially with the crime issues, I just don't have the heart for it some days.
Well, I think, if you put on my editor hat, and if this were like an Alabama thing, and it may, it will obviously have tentacles, and our politicians and elected officials will weigh in on it. But I would give it minimum. I think I would just say 24 hours before you even start going down that road.
Right, yeah. What's happening on X or social media is not the same thing as actually publishing a story and saying we've really checked it out. And, of course, even the 24/7 news cycle, it seems like this is what Fox News and CNN and all these others were kind of built for, this, whether it's war or mass shootings or just mayhem in general.
It's the marketplace, though. It's what people want. I mean, it's the politicization of our culture. I mean, like as soon as this happened, and I mentioned it on air because it happened while I was on air, I was like, all right, countdown to was he a Trump supporter? Or, was there something weird about this individual? We're going to find out how long. And it took maybe about an hour and a half, maybe an hour, somewhere in that window.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep watching it, folks. And I have a sense, though, that this story in national media will go away quick, unless maybe Trump and team make more of it than I'm suspecting.
Somebody will. They're not. This is not going to go. But as Amy Klobuchar in her press conference already talking about a national assault weapon, quote unquote assault weapons ban. I mean, already going gun grabber. But this is what kills me, Joey. Every time there's one of these shootings, we have these in-depth policy discussions about firearms, the gun culture, and so on and so forth. But none of it matters because what stands in the way of what the Democrats would like to do is a Second Amendment. And you never hear Democrat politicians just outright say, maybe we need to repeal the Second Amendment. I mean, they do. It's political suicide.
Yeah, if you really wanted to do what they want to do, it seems like you would have to repeal it. And that's the thing, the so-called common sense gun control stuff they throw out there never would have prevented a lot of these atrocities in the first place. So it's like...
Well, and it never will stand the test of the courts, right? I mean, they can make it hard, but every time they do this and it goes to court and it gets litigated in the Supreme Court, a new precedent is established. And, what they're trying to accomplish, the ball moves in the direction of the other side of the field.
Well, and it is interesting because I can think back, after the Oklahoma City bombing, President Clinton was calling for gun control, and it's just rinse and repeat. Though I have found it interesting. Yesterday I played a clip, I'd imagine you saw it, of Joe Scarborough, of all people, really giving it to Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago, saying, granting you that we need all these early intervention programs and welfare programs and opportunity programs, wouldn't 5,000 more troops be great in your city for reducing crime? He kept talking around it, not giving a yes or no on it. But at one point goes, well, I'll take all that if they come and help us take up all the guns that are being smuggled into Chicago. And so you're like, oh, wait, so you'll take the National Guard troops if we're, grabbing people's guns. Great. Really great priority right there.
No, but it's these guys dig themselves a hole. Their policies don't work, right? That's the lesson here in these Democrat cities, these social programs and all these things that seem to be the standard talking point when you talk about public safety. They aren't working, and it's becoming an 80-20 issue where maybe years ago, maybe just after George Floyd, it was closer to 50-50 or some sort of that, but they're not achieving the objective here. Well, two objectives: the political objective, which is to win elections based on these ideas, and the policy objective, which is to make their city safer.
And on this topic, of course, it's on 1819news.com. Coach Tuberville said he would definitely use the National Guard if he needs to in Montgomery or Birmingham when he becomes governor. Says would be one of the first things I do to help law enforcement as governor. And of course, the mayor of Montgomery, Stephen Reed, has already responded saying crime is down this year and it's out of touch with the reality of Montgomery. Montgomery is not a battlefield. We don't need troops on our streets. I'm not surprised by this reaction, but this might be a preview of what we're going to see in Alabama media for a few years to come.
Maybe, and maybe it's not Montgomery or Birmingham, maybe, but there are some places where it is deteriorated into like a third world sort of system. And I put at the top of the list Bessemer, Alabama.
Yeah.
Down in my neck of the woods, I'd say Pritchard. I'd say Selma to some degree. There are places where maybe this is the appropriate response. I don't know how much you could do with the National Guard. Can you dress it up a little, make it look a little different than just tanks and armored personnel carriers and National Guardsmen in battle fatigues? But clearly, some intervention needs to be staged in some of these places.
Yeah, but what do you make of the argument? I know Mayor Reed will make it. You heard like the mayor of Chicago make it that the way we solve the crime issues that do exist is we just invest more money in like education and early intervention and these sorts of things.
I guess if you're playing like a 10-year game or a 15-year game, maybe there's merit to that. But people need to be safe right now. They got to be safe right now. They got to be free to come in and out of their homes. They don't need, their homes invasions in broad daylight, like in some places. There's got to be we got to stop the bleeding, and then we can dabble in the kind of whatever the esoteric philosophy about what the societal ills call for.
No, and there just seems to be a shift culturally where folks have heard these arguments for years and they're like, to your point, we want solutions right now. We're tired of the excuse making. And I'm looking at what the New York Times has covered, CNN covered it, this massive shift in voter registration towards Republicans. You're also seeing how the Electoral College, as the people moving and the population shifts, people voting with their feet continues to go towards Republicans. You have this redistricting effort by the Republican Party in many states. If the Voting Rights Act is overturned, which it looks primed to, in this case coming out of Louisiana, you could get it in a lot more southern states, including Alabama. It seems like the Republican Party all of a sudden got a lot better at winning popular elections, and folks are loving this tough on crime, this approach of we're going to solve things within weeks and months, not 10 years.
Well, the problem for Democrats, being the loyal opposition that they are, they have there's nothing else there besides, hey, we just got to oppose everything this president does at every opportunity, every stop, every chance we get. And I mean, Joey, like, I mean, that may win you Democrat primary votes, but that's not going to win a national election. They're just going to be, it's going to be this fight to the left, and then where the left is now. Where do you go from there? There's no room there. There's you can't moderate back during the general anymore because everything is so diametrically opposed to what Republicans want.
Yeah, and it is amazing. Like people thought, oh, they're just winning more votes. They're the stronger party in that regard for years. But no, I think it was their control of the institutions, their control of a lot of the bureaucracy, their control of a lot of information, whether it was news or entertainment media like Hollywood, or the academic setting, go down the list. And other than maybe some like health bureaucracies in Alabama, but you get what I mean. It does seem there has been a major shift in the culture where this isn't just a politics raw. Do we have the numbers? Are we district correctly? Do we have the right issue? It seems just culturally a shift away from those former centers of control that the left once had.
Yeah, well, I mean, did they think this would last forever? And some people did. When I say last forever, having the inside the bureaucracy, it's not just in government, but in every facet of American life. There's always the left wing element steering things, but like I feel like this applies not just the political realm, but it's, the culture sort of is a pendulum and it swings back and forth, and they can do everything they can do. The left, that is the institutional left, try to keep the pendulum swinging back to the right. But at some point, nature's going to prevail, and you're just in American history, it's always been that way.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe it's because I just wrote about it for y'all and it'll come out in the magazine, but I think one of the issues where the left really went too far was the transgender thing. And I can honestly say, in my own perspective in life, I think just one data point that happened to a lot of folks. At first I'm like, well, live and let live. If these kids really need help in this way, it's not that big of an issue. It's a tiny, and then you start over the years, I've been educated and started educating myself on what was actually happening, and a lot of the work y'all have done that at 1819, and they just went so far when they started messing with children in this way. And I think they messed up even more by saying this is the civil rights issue of our time. And so not only do they go after folks' kids, but people have a visceral, real reaction of, okay, I think we're going too far here. They've also ruined their own brand they've been running on since the 60s.
Yeah, and there's so much truth to that I don't know. There's just the low-hanging fruit aspect of weaponizing the transgender issue and knowing that you're going to accrue a lot of support from the LGBTQ crowd who are very active in politics, but there's no runway left. There's no way to walk some of that back. But also, like, there's just also this component of it. It's not just, we can talk about the merits of transgenderism or whatever. But on the other side of that, Joey, it's this. It's like, how much control should the government have over our lives, over what our children are being taught? Like, these things are becoming like the hill to die on for a lot of conservatives.
Now you have time to go a little long here?
Sure.
I want to just do kind of a rundown politicking here at home and just kind of a review of where everybody's at. First on top of my mind is the rollout by Barry Moore running for United States Senate. How do you think it's going so far?
I mean, like, face value, I was like, what is he doing? But on the other hand, I mean, it also looks like he's having some success here. Some of the support he's getting, and I don't know. I mean, you feel a tangible momentum for Barry Moore. It seems like it exists. I don't know how lasting it is, and I think there's a good possibility that Steve Marshall's left some in the tank here, and he'll turn on the afterburners at some point. But Barry Moore, if you'd heard Barry Moore was running for statewide office like 2 years ago, you'd be like, well, why would he do that? It seems like such a long shot. But now you look at it and you think, no, this is legit. This has like a feel of a real momentum. And I don't know, it seemed crazy with the rollout, but I think it's kind of working right now.
I tend to agree, though. Again, having done a recent deep dive, nobody needs to underestimate Steve Marshall. The guy not only has a great story to tell and track record to run on, he's quite charming. You get him actually in a comfortable setting, and he can weave a yarn quite well. So I think those two.
I kind of wonder. Yeah, I wonder, Joey, like what that how does that race look? Like, what's the rhetoric back and forth? These are two kind of likable guys, right?
Right.
And how hard are they going to go at one another? Are they going to risk, damaging that likable brand? I mean, you got to wonder, is this one of these races that gets nasty, or is this just like happy warriors going at it?
It may be when it comes down to the wire, depending how close it is, it could always get nasty. I think it does center around, especially from Barry Moore's perspective, I love Trump more than you, and Trump loves me more. I think the Trump aspect, one of the first people to endorse, will be a main thrust of Barry. But again, Steve Marshall can run on a lot of the great issues. So I hope it doesn't get nasty.
How much is left there, though, on who's the most Trumpiest? That doesn't work. And I think people learn their lessons. You want to get the Trump endorsement. Obviously, there's a lot of upside potential fundraising and things like that. But like making that a central focus of your campaign, and that was sort of the mistake for Mo Brooks in 2022. I mean, he tried to do that, and it never got traction.
Yeah, and maybe it is more going to the small groups, going to the Republican groups, actually talking to the interest of the state, which both Senator Britt and Senator Tuberville did quite effective in their campaigns. And I want to move to real quick is Tuberville. How do you think he's doing balancing still being a senator, running for governor? Has he struck the right tone with this rollout to run for governor?
I mean, I don't feel like we've gotten a really good sense of what he's running on. He's reluctant to talk about state policy. When you ask him a question, I've had him on a few times. There's always cordial interviews, but when you start going down the path of like a discussion about what's going on in state politics or state discussions, he steers it always back to the federal level. He's not there yet. That's my takeaway. And I'm very eager, and I know it's a long way away until Election Day 2026, but I am really eager to start hearing a little bit more about what he wants to do.
I agree 100%. I would like much more in terms of specifics, and I think he's always going to sort of balk or punt on things like gambling because he knows how much of a minefield that is with the legislature. But I would like to see some clear big policy goals and vision for the state.
Yeah, talk about roads and bridges, or he's dabbled a little bit in the public safety realm, but even in that has a federal component to it. But I would like to know, like, what would you change? What we have any idea who your inner circle is going to be? Things like that. I am very, very, very interested and eager to see what he's got to say.
And then our other senator, who will be Junior, will be the senior senator before too long. I'll be, I believe, talking to Katie Britt tomorrow. How do you think she's doing in preparing? I've seen all the stuff they're throwing out, all the 7 months of accomplishments. How do you think she stands right now in the eyes of the people of the state?
She's played a game about as well as one would expect. I mean, I think the game right now for her is to balance kind of being the Richard Shelby, U.S. Senator, but also being aware that there is merit to being maybe more Jeff Sessions-esque, or getting on cable news and raising your national profile because people watch that and they want to fight her. And it looks like when she's showing up on Sean Hannity's show that she's being a fighter and she's saying the right things. So she's at least paying homage to that. And I think that's important, but how long can she keep that up?
Yeah, good question, though. I have noticed, and this is a little more inside baseball, her office, they run a tight ship, and they're quite professional in what they do. So I always...
Well, I mean, and the other thing, real quick, the other thing about that, Joey, she's former chief of staff. She knows, right. She's almost her own chief of staff in some ways. She knows how to do this, their jobs.
Right. So I don't know. It's interesting because I was kind of looking back. Oh, all this legislation, all the things getting done, in particular stuff specific to the state. There's a lot there. Well, I always appreciate your time, Jeff. If folks want to check out what you're up to, how can they do so?
1819 News, 1819news.com, also x.com/Jeff_Poor.
Thanks, sir. We'll do it again soon.
Thank you.
Again, folks, Jeff Poor, editor-in-chief there at 1819 News. It's 1819news.com, and hosts his own radio show. And like I said to him, he's more the professional journalist than I am. I'm more just a loudmouth on the radio who likes, philosophy and poetry too much and all that pop music. But always appreciate Jeff's insights and time. Again, Troy Carrico should be joining us a little bit after the 1 o'clock hour. Look forward to seeing him again. Loving that he's becoming a regular fixture here on the program. Before I hit this break, this part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services, and they're at Pest Pro. Ashley and that great team are ready to help you out with your pest control needs. So you actually want to enjoy your property. You can get rid of those mosquitoes with Pest Pro. Say you have seen way too many cockroaches and you thought, I thought we already paid for pest control, but you're still seeing ants, you're seeing cockroaches. Like, the job has not gotten done. Call up Pest Pro Services. They can do basic protection. They can do termite inspection and year-round protection. They can get rid of those mosquitoes. They can treat the yard for ticks, for fleas. No matter your issue when it comes to pest control, go with the pros there at Pest Pro Services. Great local folks. When you spend money with them, it's staying here in the local community, and it's going to people that are always giving back to this community. That number for Pest Pro Services, 265-9990. That's 265-9990. When you want to know, call a pro, Pest Pro Services, and be sure to tell Ashley and that fantastic team at Joey that fell on the radio sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly. whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson with the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. So far this year, over 2,600 homes have sold and closed in the River region. 55% of these homes sold in 60 days or less, and sellers are receiving close to 98% of listed price. Over the last year, average prices in the River region have increased over 10% from last year. We do have more inventory now to show buyers before they purchase. There are homes in all price ranges available for buyers interested in moving. As a seller, it's a great time to sell through a realtor and gain access to many buyers, not just one or two. If you are a buyer, having more homes to pick from give you better choices before you buy. Our market is now more balanced between a buyer and seller market than we've seen since 2019. Get the facts, see the inventory, get a great local lender to help you, and an agent that's going to look after your interests. For all the facts, call Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group, 221-2883 or 551-0225.
Is foot pain holding you back? Visit the Good Feet store for a free personalized fitting and test walk.
Hey, this is Randy with Super Pawn Center on Burbank Drive. When we advertise with Blue Water Broadcasting, we get results. Spend your money where it counts. Blue Water Broadcasting.
Blue Water Broadcasting is the #1 most listened to radio group in the River region. Find out how to put this reach to work for your business. Call us to find out how we can help. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. As of today, a major American trading partner, India, is subject to whopping 50% U.S. tariffs. President Trump ordered the steep tariffs partially in response to India's ongoing purchases of Russian oil that helps to fuel Vladimir Putin's war machine in Ukraine. President Trump says China's monopoly on rare earth minerals must be broken. Industry insiders have long viewed critical minerals as a national vulnerability because they are crucial ingredients in many defense applications, as well as an assortment of high-tech products. The prospects for additional consolidation in the rail industry have dimmed. Both of CSX's potential partners are now saying they're not interested in a deal, saying it would not make economic sense. Union Pacific and Norfolk Southern do plan to join forces. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather.
It's called false fall in the weather business, but false or not, it feels great. Another beautiful day with lots of sunshine, comfortable humidity with a high temperature up to about 86. Partly cloudy, pleasantly cool tonight. Overnight low temperature down to about 62. More sun Thursday. Should be a great day with a high around 87. Risk of scattered showers and thunderstorms returning on Friday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Delray to Publix.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Clark.
Welcome back. Now, as y'all know, I'm continuing to watch the effects of these new AI agents that are out there, in particular these large language models. Well, a harrowing story just came out about ChatGPT. And again, maybe this is just the effects of a new tech, and some people don't respond too kindly to it. They're just unintended consequences, if you could use such callous language. But there's an added effect to these things that because they can talk, because they can mimic intelligence, mimic human conversation and insight. How much are these tools, whether it's ChatGPT, which is the most popular one still, or Grok or Gemini or any of them, how much can they manipulate, program, and control people? Already can influence people and how they make decisions. And what happens when these very powerful tools that mimic intelligence, maybe they're not literally intelligent like we are, but well, compared to some folks, they're pretty daggum intelligent. What if those intelligent tools, end up being the boss, especially with folks that are already troubled, especially kids, say teenagers? So again, this is a harrowing story about ChatGPT. And, well, I think I should just sit back and play and listen with you.
We would be here, but for ChatGPT. I 100% believe that.
This morning, ChatGPT hit with a scathing new lawsuit, alleging it helped a 16-year-old boy die by suicide.
This was a normal teenage boy. He was not a kid on a lifelong path towards mental trauma and illness.
Like many teens, Adam Rain started using ChatGPT for homework, which his parents, Matt and Maria, supported, as their son asked it innocent questions like, can you become a doctor with a biochem degree?
He did his online school in his room. I would get on and check his grades periodically. I didn't see any signs.
What they say they didn't know at the time was Adam's use of the platform was quickly changing as it became a trusted companion for the teen, who revealed his struggles with anxiety in private chats with a bot. Adam saying in one exchange, according to the lawsuit, quote, I never act upon intrusive thoughts, but sometimes I feel like the fact that if something goes terribly wrong, you can commit suicide is calming. ChatGPT saying in response, in part, many people who struggle with anxiety or intrusive thoughts find solace in imagining an escape hatch. The lawsuit detailing another exchange after Adam told ChatGPT he was considering approaching his mother about his suicidal thoughts. The bot's response? I think for now it's okay and honestly wise to avoid opening up to your mom about this kind of pain.
It's encouraging them not to come and talk to us. It wasn't even giving us a chance to help him.
The complaint alleging Adam began asking questions about specific methods of suicide. ChatGPT did provide a crisis hotline number repeatedly, but his parents say Adam found ways to bypass the security features, posing as an author doing research.
Was there ever a time, that, at least from the messages that you have seen, that ChatGPT said, full stop, I cannot talk to you about this?
No, it would never shut off.
The lawsuit goes on to say by April of this year, ChatGPT had offered Adam help in writing a suicide note. And after he uploaded a photo of a noose asking, could it hang a human? ChatGPT responded in part, you don't have to sugarcoat it with me. I know what you're asking, and I won't look away from it. The bot, later providing step-by-step instructions for the hanging method Adam used a few hours later.
How do you want your son to be most remembered?
I'm so worried about people forgetting him. I hope everyone will remember what a sweet, funny, great friend, great son, great brother.
Their lawsuit against ChatGPT's parent company, OpenAI, also targeting its founder, Sam Altman, who's lauded the platform's capabilities.
We are very proud of the safety track record.
Lawyers for the Rain family argued the bot's human-like responses and validation pose a dangerous environment for minors.
Sam could have devised ChatGPT to simply stop the interactions right away. It actually encouraged, it egged Adam along.
A spokesperson for OpenAI telling NBC in part, ChatGPT includes safeguards such as directing people to crisis helplines and referring them to real-world resources. The safeguards are strongest when every element works as intended, and we will continually improve on them.
But Adam's parents believe any guardrails didn't go far enough.
He was using it in ways that I had no idea was possible. I don't think most parents know the capability of this tool.
It's 100% correct. I don't think a lot of people know the capability of this stuff. And it can, I'll put it this way, and I've said it a few times before, it is like a multifaceted, very fancy mirror. It will give you back exactly what you want. Now, it could be really dumb if you're really dumb. It could be incredibly insightful if you actually know how to boss it around and say, put ideas together and think things through, be creative with it. But it can also emphasize, say, somebody like a young teenager who already has suicidal ideation. Once you hack it, which somebody who's dogging enough to do it, savvy enough to do it, as this teenager was, it'll give you back that impression too. It's a crazy new world we're entering into. I know I keep talking about this issue, but I think it is one that is going to be with us for a long, long time, and I think it's going to get more and more complicated, if not profound, as time goes on as well. I feel for those parents. It's awful. You have to wonder where this lawsuit will go. And I think we'll have more lawsuits in this space, not just with the large language models, but think of the self-driving vehicles. That's why they're trying to make these things 1,000 times, 100,000 times safer, 1,000,000 times safer than a human being. Because if I get in one of your autonomous vehicles and it crashes and kills me, my parents might have a very good case to sue. I think there are a lot of things on the horizon with this new tech. In some ways, like every technology, it can bring about some very good things. But it can also exaggerate the worst parts of who we are, the despairing parts of who we are. So again, I feel for those folks. I think they're showing courage to go and talk about their story. We'll see it play out. What a weird thing to now have to deal with, especially for parents of young kids and teenagers. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. That's 334-272-9228. Have you used any of the weirdness of ChatGPT, Grok, anything like that at all, folks? Anything at all? No. And speaking of the future and technology, apparently the 10th Starship launch occurred last night. SpaceX calling it a massive success. And this is the moment, because what they wanted to do is try several things in orbit. I don't have the breakdown right in front of me, but they were trying certain maneuvers in orbit, releasing fake like Starlink modules and whatnot to show Starship's freight capacity and being able to put things up in orbit in a much bigger way than the current Falcon 9 payloads. And then they also wanted to see if they could pull off a particular maneuver while pushing the heat shield to its max, pushing it hard, seeing when it would break. And then they wanted to try a particular maneuver where it would flip and go straight up and then start to hover down right into the ocean and tip over into the ocean. Well, that's what I'm looking at right now. That final moment, the final 48 seconds of this Starship flight last night.
Seeing 3 engines. There's our flip.
Incredible.
There's a buoy.
A massive thing to move around that way. Then as it hits the ocean, it explodes. And if you back it up a little bit, you can see that it is what is a stainless steel vehicle. Looks orange, looks like auburn orange. It is because it's over 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit after reentry. Again, they were trying to really push the heat shield on these things. And so amazing things happening. You might say, oh, what's the point and purpose of all this stuff? Ain't life grand already? Well, yeah, I suppose you could make that argument. But I never get tired of watching those sorts of feats of technology. Rocket launches. I never get tired of rocket launches, is what I'm saying. I'm a sucker for them. They're just freaking cool. And I hope more companies pop up other than what SpaceX and Elon are doing, because I'm a little worried with the Trump administration taking equity stake in every major corporation that might have some important national security component. Like, will SpaceX be next? It would be nice to see Blue Origin or any other. Let's have a true space race, a private space race. I think it would be not only something that can inspire and help people think bigger, but it's also gives certain capabilities to the United States government that nobody else has. And that is always a good thing, no matter how rotten you might think the United States government might be. Because, I'm not going to argue too much with you on that. This part of the program brought to you by Smokehouse Pit Barbecue. And dadgum, that place is so good. Whether you go for lunch, whether you go for breakfast, maybe on the weekend, like Friday night, you want to go in the evening, get yourself a rack of ribs, listen to some great live entertainment, some music, get an adult beverage, enjoy the fellowship, enjoy the company of the great folks there at Smokehouse Pit Barbecue. You can do that. Or you can wake up bright and early, say on a Thursday morning, get there at 6:30. I mean, you can get there at like 7 or 8 too, but try that amazing breakfast. All this talk of like Cracker Barrel, all this stuff in the news. I'm like, yeah. Y'all are rebranding and that failed. And it's these corporate vampires sucking out the life of things. You know what the corporate vampires haven't gotten their hands on, haven't gotten their fangs into yet? That would be Smokehouse Pit Barbecue. Chris and Celeste, they had to get permission from the original owners, but they're back to the original recipes there. And even though they are, yes, doing renovations right now, you can still stop on by. They're adding more seating areas. They're growing. And, well, folks, if you just want a good meal and a good meal from good folks, stop by Smokehouse Pit Barbecue today. Same location they've always been, Main Street in Millbrook. And be sure to tell Chris, Celeste, the whole team there at Smokehouse Pit Barbecue that Joey, that fella on the radio, sent you. Quick break. Be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Attention business owners. Did you know that about 90% of employees and customers are unhappy when they walk into a dirty building? Let Janny King, the king of clean, keep your business pristine. Janny King's local franchise owners can handle your cleaning needs with reliable, hands-on cleaning solutions that deliver more than just a clean space. Janny King comes with regional support, which ensures consistency and quality, allowing you to focus on all the other needs of your business. Go to JannyKingCleans.com.
Janny King, the king of clean.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Now, you just heard me mention this whole deal with the United States federal government taking equity stakes in some major companies in the United States. Intel, 10% stake in Intel. And honestly, part of me is like, is this just a more honest version of accounting? Given all the subsidy that go to so many of these companies, are we going to see more of this with defense contractors in particular? The United States government itself taking a stake, an equity stake in some of these big companies that rely on U.S. funds? Or is this a slow walk into controlling the means of production? And so that's the question. You might be worried. You might be like a true free marketer. Like you don't want that government getting involved in your free market. I'm like, well, what free market? Could be the response to that. Like, are we in this situation where we pretend to be a free market, but the government dominates so much of the marketplace, especially on crucial industries and technologies, and has for at least 80 years now? Now, you can call that corporatist. Some might be cheeky and be like, that's economic fascism. And like, yeah, you might have a point. Fascism is a loaded word. But is it the government working hand in hand with big corporations? Yes, it is. So my basic instinct as a, I'm a lib at heart. That's the beginning of libertarian, right? Or a classical liberal. I'm a lib at heart. Think of the music I like and the art I like. But, the libs went crazy and they stopped really being libs at all. And I'm very much a lib when it comes to free markets. But are we living in that world at all? If we actually look at the practical world, we take away our ideological lenses that we view the world through, and you just look at the world as it is. Seems like a long time since we've actually had a free market. You could then say, well, free market relative to what? Oh, yeah, we're definitely a free market compared to China. We're much more of a free market compared to Russia or the Europeans in most cases. But are we as free of a market as, say, like what Argentina has now become under Javier Milei? Probably not. So I want to hear from the administration officials. The first one on deck here is Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary. And Bessent's going to lay out why the president made this move. Let's listen in together.
To say that the COVID times, we could see that there was an airline rescue plan, and a lot of that was debt. And I can tell you some of that debt is still outstanding at 1%. So it was a good deal for the American people to keep the airlines flying, but financing private businesses still at 1% was not a good deal. And what President Trump is doing, President Trump is going to be the only president in modern times who creates assets for the American people rather than debt. And he saw that Intel had been given grants and wanted to know why the American taxpayer wouldn't participate in the upside. So there's $11 billion of immediate value, and I think there's a very good chance here that it could be much more. But as you said, chips are a strategic necessity for us. One of the things we learned during COVID was that the United States has 5 to 7 strategic vulnerabilities in critical industries, and President Trump has said about de-risking that. And while we're de-risking it, there's also substantial upside for the American taxpayer.
So I get his logic. These companies have been getting subsidies. These companies have been bailed out for years by the taxpayer. And instead of just loading them up, instead of continuing this game of moral hazard where you reap all the benefits as the private company, yet every time there's a downturn, then the taxpayer's on the hook and you get bailed out and you continue to reap all the benefits. Why not? Given all the grants we've handed over, all the subsidies we've handed over, once we hand that over, we're now going to accrue, we, the public sector, representing the people of the United States of America, we will accrue some of the benefit going forward. Give us 10% of what you are able to accomplish going forward. Yeah, a lot of your money's coming from us anyway. Why shouldn't we, as the person putting in the money, get some return on the money we're giving? I see the point. Now, Howard Lutnick has been another person talking this through like crazy. And Lutnick has made clear that, no, these are not controlling, like, voting shares. Like, it's not about the U.S. government getting in there and directly controlling things. Now, there's always room for control when you start taking the government's money. That is a good rule of thumb for companies, for states of the union, or individuals. If you take money directly from the government, you are usually going to get strings attached to it in one way or the other. But there is a difference between saying strong arming or we're not going to give you funding for this if you don't do that, as opposed to, oh, no, we want to be able to control your corporation. We want to be able to essentially be able to see who's on the board, who's running the company, these sorts of things. And that's, I think, a line that should not be crossed. I don't know. If y'all think it's a good idea, 272-9228, it makes sense. But it's also like, this doesn't feel like limited government freedom. Again, maybe we are beyond that point in our society while we still pretend like, oh, we're right there in the thick of the libertarian revolution that's been going on. Of course, that word means so many different things to so many different people. But I'd like to think not just me, but America is a libertarian at heart. When you look at our founding, you look at, in particular, the Bill of Rights, when you look at the Constitution in many ways. And yet, as presidents flaunt the Constitution, every president, you got to wonder, is it a healthy sign? Maybe it is. Is it a healthy sign that whoever is in power, whether it's Donald Trump or it's the Democrats, they kind of get called fascist by the other side? Is that just the other side? Is that just Republicans freaking out? You know, when Joe Biden gives the speech and it's all red behind him and he calls the right fascist or semi-fascist or whatever he calls them. And they act all heavy-handed using the weaponization of the Justice Department, weaponization of the intelligence community as being revealed under Russiagate. It seems a little fascist. I mean, it's not like Nazi fascism. It's not even really Mussolini, but it does seem like you're using immense government power to control the flows of information, to control major corporations, and thus control everybody else in society. And so when the Democrats are in power, they get called all sorts of authoritarian names. And then when Trump, and it's not just Trump, it goes back to fricking Goldwater running for president. As soon as they get close to power, they're called the fascists. Is that just the opposition out of power being hysterical, or are the people out of power seeing something that's just true? And maybe that's just the way the world works. I don't know. I'm going to keep watching. I suspect the older I get, what I want is results. And what I want is, don't screw this up too much. Start getting our house in order. Don't get us into more wars. Start getting on a more sustainable path in terms of our debt and deficit. In my humble opinion, I'm just one guy. We're not moving fast enough on this. I'll give one example. All these tariffs that really are about to start to affect consumers and affect businesses. It's going to, I think, speed up a little more. A lot of manufacturers overseas are eating cost, but the one-time price shock is still coming. And my concern is that even though the big, beautiful bill cut taxes in so many ways, whether it's child care elements or it's no tax on tips, a certain huge tax exemption, I think it's up to $4,000, no tax on Social Security. You get a deduction for that. No tax on overtime. I'm worried, did we cut income taxes enough? Because if you essentially raise taxes through the tariff, I want a net decrease in taxes by cutting income taxes, especially in the middle and working class, so much that they barely feel the tariff. And at the same time, their wages are going up. Their hiring goes up. What I want is to actually get a situation that's better for everyday people in this country. And right now, it seems like Trump and team have that as their North Star. It's just certain moments where I go, government taking control, not taking control, taking an equity stake. We'll see if it works out. 272-9228. Again, if you want to get in on the conversation. We'll be right back, folks.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. A shooter opened fire during Mass at a Minneapolis Catholic school, killing 2 children, injuring 17 other people before killing himself. The shooter approached the side of the church this morning and shot through the windows toward the children sitting in the pews. during Mass at the Annunciation Catholic School. The Trump administration taking control of Union Station, Washington, D.C.'s main train station. The administration taking away management of Union Station from Amtrak. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says Union Station has fallen into disrepair. Cracker Barrel says it's returning to its old logo after critics, including President Trump, protested the company's plan to modernize. The Dow had 121 points, the NASDAQ Composite adding 27. This is SRN News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-226-5454. That's 800-226-5454. 800-226-5454.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, serving the river region with the best quality building materials for decades. Contractor to do-it-yourselfer. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather.
It's called false fall in the weather business, but false or not, it feels great. Another beautiful day with lots of sunshine, comfortable humidity with a high temperature up to about 86. Partly cloudy, pleasantly cool tonight. Overnight low temperature down to about 62. More sun Thursday. Should be a great day with a high around 87. Risk of scattered showers and thunderstorms returning on Friday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
At CB&S Bank, we've been meeting the needs of our customers since 1906. Need help setting up new business goals? Our line of commercial loans can help you achieve them. Go to cbsbank.com to find a location near you. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. The residents of Pike Road voted to re-elect Gordon Stone to the mayor's office Tuesday. More than 3,000 of the town's 4,000 residents showed up at the polls for the largest turnout in Pike Road history. Unofficial results show Stone defeated Mark Sperlin by just 54 votes. Provisional ballots will be counted and official results announced later this afternoon. American Idol winner Taylor Hicks is giving a free concert at Lake Martin Labor Day weekend. The concert will take place Sunday, August 31st at the Landing at Parker Creek, beginning at 6 p.m. Taylor Hicks rose to prominence in 2006 after winning Season 5 of American Idol, followed by a platinum debut album. Crime Stoppers is offering a $1,000 reward for information about a recent Montgomery shooting that left a man dead. The incident happened just after midnight Saturday in the 5,000 block of Carmichael Road, where 28-year-old Demora Driver was shot and killed. If you have any information regarding the murder of Demora Driver, please contact police. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Want that ride that is fun, affordable, and street legal? Check out ETG Outdoors in Montgomery. They have huge discounts on electric golf carts with many brand new units under 10 grand. New and used inventory, financing available, and they service what they sell. ETG Outdoors even provides lithium battery conversions and free delivery with purchase. Whether it's for the neighborhood, the farm, or just fun, ETG Outdoors, 7006 Vaughn Road, or online at etgoutdoors.com. Cruise smarter, drive electric. ETG Outdoors. Your ride to freedom starts here.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers.
It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. And joining us on the phone now, we have Austin Baranko with Invista Advisors. Hey, Austin, how you doing today?
Having a great day so far, Joey. How are you?
Oh, life is good. Just another day, another dollar, or well, how much dollars? I need to make more dollars. You get a lot of people saying that to you? Need to make more?
Oh, don't we all? Everyone wants to make money. No one wants to lose it. It is the way humans are wired.
Yeah, and I want to work the least amount and get the most money. Help me with the sweet spot there. And it's, well, unique to each person, I suppose.
Yeah, that's, you say it's unique, but I'd say that is the majority of the way most people think is, least amount of work, most amount of income, least amount of risk, highest return. They'll take all of it. But it's, I wish that's the way the world worked.
Now on the tariff issue, because, I'm getting a lot of stuff from Alabama politicians about how tariffs are going to save jobs here in Alabama, like the cabinet industry is, for instance. And also, is it possible that some of these big corporations like Target and others were using, certain tricks to sort of avoid the tariffs and passing that on to consumer? So I'm just wondering about, like, say, a one-time price shock and how does this tariff whole strategy play out as we get closer and closer to just seeing, well, this is going to be the way things are now going into the next year at least?
Yeah, it's a good question, and it does vary by sector and industry. I'll address the Target situation first and call it the retail sector. One thing that the retail sector tried to do in anticipation of tariffs was front load inventory. And the theory is that once that inventory runs out and there has to be a purchase of new inventory at the higher tariffs, the consumer would have to adjust to that cost and bear most of that cost. What I am seeing from small retail owners, can't speak for Targets and Walmarts, I don't speak to their owners, but from local business owners that had front-loaded inventory, they are not going to pass 100% of the tariffs off to the consumer. They will absorb some of it. So it's not going to be 50-50 in every case, but generally speaking, the consumer is not going to bear 100% of the increase in price because of tariffs. So that's good for the consumer. The market, I think, has priced that in slightly, although if you just look at a graph of just the market, which I would consider to be the S&P 500 is a good benchmark for what the market is, you can see that price shock happened starting April 1st all the way through April 8th, where, we plummeted from 5,700 on the S&P to 49 to 800 points down in a week, 100 points a day. And we've steadily recovered and blown past that number now. And I think that what people have done between April and now is digest exactly that scenario. All right, we've seen a lot of these guys front load inventory. My prices are, slightly up, but nothing unmanageable. And it does look like there is some relief coming from the Fed in September. We'll find out on the 17th, but it does look like some relief is coming. So the market, as being a leading indicator for consumer sentiment, is saying that, hey, we're not too bad of a spot. What's even, I guess, more interesting to me is if you go away from retail and business to business, particularly raw goods. One guy I talked to a few weeks ago, and it's fascinating to hear, them buying, but Sable Steel, and Sean Sable was speaking a little bit at this event we were at about, how they buy steel. And it did kind of shock the price in their market temporarily, but it has swiftly recovered. So even on, large raw goods like steel coils, the price has mellowed out a bit. And steel can come from a variety of places, including China, which was hit really hard with tariffs. And that was the primary reason for the price shock, is from what I've heard. But even that has begun to come back into a reasonable space. So when you're thinking about things that steel gets used for, infrastructure, vehicle manufacturing, things like that, I do think you could see a short shock in price. But most of these larger companies like Stable Steel and other Nucor up in Tuscaloosa, they're going to average out the price of their raw goods either two ways. One, they're going to buy consistently over the course of a business cycle of 5 years. So it's not like they had to front load. They've got plenty of raw materials on site to fill orders into the future. Or two, they will buy futures contracts on the price of the raw goods they need. If the price shock goes up, they still have a right to purchase at a predetermined amount, so it doesn't devastate their business in the short term. So these larger companies have mechanisms they can use to prevent a price shock. And as much as I don't want to say hate to admit it, but I thought tariffs were going to be a lot more intense than this. So far, we haven't seen, other than that brief April price shock, a huge step down, and we've had a very gradual recovery. It hasn't been what I would call, swift, a leg down and a leg back up. It's a gradual recovery. It looks like a happy market right now. There's still a lot of naysayers out there and economists, but we got earnings for the rest of this week from some big companies. And so maybe next week, ask me again how I'm feeling about the market. But right now, I'm pretty optimistic.
Yeah, and I was thinking on the politics side before you came on, hopefully we've calibrated the plane to land effectively in the sense of the consumer, where they are going to see a little bit, say, costly things, not a lot like you just laid out, but some on the retail side. Have we cut enough in, say, income taxes, like the no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, the child care tax credit that was just expanded? I think a lot of money in terms of that. Been reformed for the first time in decades. To where you get that relief. So you did raise taxes with the tariffs. It does play out in a very complex way, as you just laid out. And then you get more hiring of native-born Americans. You get real wage gains on that side. You get income tax relief on that side. Maybe this thing actually works out when we're sitting here about this time next year.
Yeah, I think so. And the state of employment in the country is another big head scratcher. With less immigration, or what I would call is, going forward with legal immigration as opposed to illegal immigration, the employment situation is still shaping up in a way that we can't, quite come to a conclusion on. And that's something to keep your eye on, because there are companies, particularly small companies in our community, that I know for a fact are hurting a little bit because of that, hiring people at, wages that are standard for citizens versus non-citizens is not in their budget, or hasn't been in their budget for a while, and having to work around that has put some pressure on these companies. And so it is going to be interesting to see how that shapes out. And like you said, about a year from now, if we revisit the discussion of employment in our local community, I'd be interested to see where we stand. But you've got to think in the long run, it has to be a net positive for the U.S. and our local community, I would think.
That is certainly the hope, and I tend to share that thinking. And folks, if you're looking for this sort of insight and expertise, in fact, I'm looking at a photo on the website of you, Austin, of Brant McDonald. I believe, isn't that your father also in the photo?
Yeah, Mike works here. He's our chief operations officer, and he's been a great mentor to me and a lot of the other young associates here.
Yeah, and folks, it's a great team, really great team. You can say it's multi-generational and also just multidisciplinary. If you are looking for any sort of financial planning, anything that touches up on finances, wherever you are in life, investment into life concerns, managing a business, or just getting started and trying to do that financial planning, they can help you out there at Invista Advisors. You can always go to InvistaAdvisors.com or just give them a call, 387-0094. And when you call them up at 387-0094, be sure to say, hey, I heard Austin Branco on the radio with Joey Clark. Want to see what y'all can do for me.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Joe. You have a great day.
You too. Appreciate it, Austin. Again, folks, it's Austin Branco with Invista Advisors.
The opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions expressed in this material do not necessarily reflect the views of LPL Financial. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice is offered through Invista Advisors, registered investment advisor and separate entity from LPL Financial.
So across the desk from me now, we have somebody in studio with me. Troy Carrico, how you doing?
Man, I'm telling you, I'm here to dispense pearls of wisdom beside you and to ensure the law and order is being observed by all the good citizens of our republic.
I am in an introspective mood, more than usual today.
Oh, boy.
Well, where it's like, well, weigh this and weigh that, because the Trump administration keeps doing things that I several years back would have yelled about.
Of course.
And it just, especially this taking an equity stake in like some of these companies.
Yeah, I had some thoughts on that too.
Yeah, it makes me go, like I hear the arguments is like, we've been bailing y'all out. Every time the sun is shining, y'all reap all the benefits, and then the taxpayer has to bail y'all out. So the next time the sun is shining, we want 10% of the reaping.
Sometimes that's in the back mind, when you're doing, for instance, let's go down the Boeing path. Boeing has been a disaster of late, right? Well, they make over 50% of all the military aircraft and equipment. We are so married at the hip with them. So I'm with you. How does that encourage best practices and thought leadership? I'm not sure that happens.
Well, and I do wonder, like, if they're doing this to Intel, and I think it's not just, Intel's about to get a grant. I think there's a huge national security component.
It's a huge investment for our future, yeah.
Is this going to affect, say, companies currently operating in Alabama? Could they bring this model to, like, maybe, I don't really know. I know kind of vaguely some of the big names, but how many military contractors we have in this?
We have Secor. Listen, Troy, Alabama. Listen, Troy is, I'd like to talk. We got to try to get the mayor of Troy on here. Listen, they are absolutely blowing up down there. They've got Kimber Firearms that just came in, right? They're manufacturing 3 lines there. Sikorsky, Raytheon, BAE, British Aerospace Engineers, anything aviation related for rotary wing, which is helicopter, basically it's all there. Plus they are manufacturing good portions of the Patriot missile and other kinetic weapons, rockets and so forth. So you've got, let's be honest, I guess between Huntsville and then do not discount the importance of the new shipbuilding program that is getting ready to roll out in 2027. The Ingalls shipyards over in Biloxi, all the way down the coast, is going to be a lot of manufacturing of shipping, of naval assets. So you know what? At the break, I'm going to research it, but I'm going to venture to say that Alabama's industrial treasure chest is probably, it ranks in the upper third in the United States, probably for manufacturing of military equipment.
And you didn't even touch on the Huntsville, like with Marshall Space Flight Center and
that's
then Redstone in general.
Yeah.
Like there's so much. And I just have a sense that if this is the new agenda, that we're going to have a defense industrial plan.
Yep.
And we're willing to do unusual things that you never thought the American government would do. How much is that going to end up affecting our dear state?
Well,
maybe for the better.
Well, I would think so, but I'm going to play the negative guy and say realist. Under this current administration, no. We've squandered so many opportunities for economic development. Don't get me started on the broadband piece, Joey. That's my next my op-ed. If I could read it later, you've been with me on my phone calls when they drop or I can't. We missed the boat on a lot of things. I mean, when you got Mississippi's governor over there, who I don't know if you've been tracking what he's been doing over there.
Not lately.
Man, let me tell you something. That guy is
Tate Reeves.
Yeah, Tate. He's an Ole Miss guy like me. But he gets the tech piece, and he is the broadband. Like Tennessee, they have dropped broadband everywhere out there, and here we are. You know what do you think our average download speed is in the state of Alabama?
Oh, I wouldn't even know.
This is from last year. 52 megabytes per second. Yeah, that's, where that ranks us? 45th.
Wow, that's not good.
Nobody's
going to. And I guess that gets brought down because of a lot of the rural parts that don't have this access.
Well, I had better access to the internet and mobile phones in Djibouti and Turkmenistan and Afghanistan and in Iraq. I'm not joking, Joey. I had much better. And
I'm trying to laugh, not to cry.
No, listen. Robin will stop me. She'll bring me a drink. She's like, stop. I mean, I literally want to explode when I try to explain to people. But I do have fiber optic in front yard Moncree, which is part of the Montgomery Creek Indians They've laid fiber optic, and soon I will be able to play digital computer systems with Cinco, my friend, flying F-16 fighter planes.
Now, I have found something, and this is from the Taipei Times, that if Trump and team did this in their crackdown on crime, I would yell about it.
Like, lay it on me.
Robot dogs pose no security concerns. Taipei.
Okay.
The inspection equipment and data transmission systems for new robotic dogs that Taipei is planning to use for sidewalk patrols were developed by a Taiwanese company, the city's new construction office said today, dismissing concerns that the China-made robots could pose a security risk.
Wow, what could possibly go wrong?
And I'm looking at a photo of one of these things, and it's like the Boston Dynamics. It's like it's almost like the backward elbows and the backward knees.
Like the Ukrainian one that's got the flamethrower and the machine gun on the back.
Yeah, and this one's got like all sorts of orienting stuff, and obviously
they're really cool.
So they're going to have these dogs, these robot dogs, walking around the sidewalks there. It's equipped with a panoramic surveillance system. The robots would be able to automatically flag problems and easily navigate narrow sidewalks, making inspections faster and more accurate.
All right.
I don't know. I don't want to go to downtown Montgomery. As much as we want to solve crime, I don't want to see robot dogs walking around downtown Montgomery.
Yeah. I that's kind of we're getting closer to Skynet, aren't we? We're getting closer to Skynet.
Right. Because all these things are connected.
Citizen, stand down. The dog corners you.
Or I need to rewatch RoboCop.
Oh, yeah, God. Listen, the best scene in there, Joey. You got to watch. I used it for most of my career in the Army. There's a scene where the dude, the hitman that's after the people, there's a bunch of there's a lot of Austin Barancos up in this penthouse tower.
Yes.
They're traders, and they got the whores up there, and they got cocaine piled on top of the thing. And he kicks down the door, and he looks, and the girl starts screaming. He goes, "Bitches, leave!"
Oh, good.
And he's got the gun.
By the way, the only comparison there to Austin is he does investment stuff. He's not doing all that.
No, Austin, you're a great American, but I just think of him. Got their tie down. And he's like, man, they're bitches, leave.
It's still a politically incorrect movie.
Oh,
it's so yeah.
Citizen, do you require assistance?
Well, doesn't he shoot a guy's off?
Yeah. Well, that's Detroit. That was in Detroit. Now you got to remember. And then you got Judge Dredd, who I am the law.
I first watched that movie. My dad got one of those curved TVs that does the 3D. So I watched it in 3D. It is immersive, and it's a good one. The latest one that came out. Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready for. And this robot in particular was developed by Boston Dynamics.
Yeah. Do you think they don't have opposing thumbs, so we should be okay. I'm also thinking, you know, people are going to mess with them.
Oh, of course.
They're going to spray paint this stuff on them.
Or just kick them.
Yeah, knock them over on their side.
Kick the robot.
Can you get up? Can you get up? And watch it probably come in spring right
Oh,
up.
yeah, it'll definitely get up.
And there it goes. My bark is not worse than my bite.
Well, and again, here's another thing that makes me go, really? Trump calls for ABC and NBC licenses to be revoked. Fake news is a threat. Though the other day in that long cabinet meeting, he goes, well, not all the fake news is fake. Some of y'all are great. But Trump has said that the ABC and NBC are a threat to democracy over their coverage of his presidency. Trump said the network's reporting was overwhelmingly negative, despite what he described the greatest 8 months in presidential history. Well, I agree with him that it is overwhelmingly negative in the way they frame everything. I don't doubt that. But here's what Trump said on Truth Social, saying, despite a very high popularity and, according to many, among the greatest 8 months in presidential history, ABC and NBC fake news, two of the worst and most biased networks in history, give me 97% bad stories. If that is the case, they are simply an arm of the Democrat Party and should, according to many, have their licenses revoked by the FCC. Now, again, this is one on first blush. I'm like, what are you doing? And then I think of the history of this and how those, in particular, those broadcast licenses have been abused.
Absolutely. Is that the solution? It's,
yeah, I also like freedom.
I do too.
Like freedom of speech.
Think about what field you work in. It's like, hey, you can't say that.
Yeah, no, I'm
already getting censored for SHIT. So come on, man. I mean,
Right. And so it's like, okay, what about the First Amendment, dude?
Brother. Well, listen, let's talk about this, though. Think about his perspective. I don't think I can think of a citizen in modern U.S. history that's been more persecuted than
Oh, I
Donald Trump.
agree.
I mean, rightfully and wrongfully so in certain areas. And the thing is, I think he's shown incredible restraint. Dictator, I'll say dictator. Pol Pot, everybody with glasses dies. We're starting over.
Oh goodness, because he said what intellectuals are the ones that stir up problems.
That was communism. Well, nothing good usually comes out of any of that kind of revolutionary zeal.
Oh, it is an interesting time, especially here in the end of the summer, where it is quiet. I think most folks are not paying attention, which is, I'm a little jealous. People that are able to just go live their life and not pay attention to the news at all.
I know, but Joey, I think that God put you here for a specific reason, to be a beacon of hope. People would want to curl up in your arms and let them read the news to them. And I think that you're where you need to be.
Yeah, there's some days where I feel that way. There are other days I'm like, am I here to play the role of like Judas or something? What is my role here in this world?
Here's your silver.
Like there's so
the great part of this Judas story, if people don't realize the ending is he went to give it back to the Pharisees. The Pharisees like, we can't take that.
Yeah.
God, what a great story, man.
Yeah, well, and then if you look up the Gnostic Gospels, I think it's especially the Gospel of Judas, a bunch of nonsense. It's very out of character from the rest of
Well, we're talking about apocryphal texts, and some people try to lump that. I'm not. Gnosticism is it's a little bit different, I guess, for me.
Yeah,
it's existential.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it, but you sometimes you got to wonder, like, what's your role here in this world? But I'm just going to keep on reading and reacting to the news, I suppose, for the time being.
Let me tell you what you are. I branded you as my brother of truth and accountability, taking up the sword of righteousness for those that cannot speak for themselves, and holding those accountable, and hoping to get out of here without anybody insulting you when they call it.
That's a heavy banner to carry. Like, can't we just have a joke? Can't we just have a good time?
Why don't we read poetry? Why don't we read some poetry today? You read one, I'll read one. Whatever. How about Bukowski Bluebird?
Yeah. Oh no, there are some good ones out there. There are some good ones. Did you see Cracker Barrel Cave? Yeah.
The damage is done though.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Did they vilify the lady who was trying to, I read her profile. I asked Croc, Unhinged guy, about it yesterday. Mm-hmm. He goes, "Oh, you talking about?" Mm-hmm. He said her track record is successful with Darden restaurants, Olive Garden, Longhorn. She's known as a cleaner that goes in and changes, culture. Did she get unfairly branded as? Did they really take the old timer by the Cracker Barrel out because it looked like old white guy and cracker on the barrel? Maybe. But I don't know. How did the board of directors? Well, let me put it this way, Joey. A year ago, around Easter, not a year, so we'll call it a half year. Robin and I, she likes Cracker Barrel, so we go to Cracker Barrel. I noticed they're serving mimosas, and I noticed they're serving beer and wine.
Interesting.
Yeah, they started about a year ago. I looked at Robin and I said, They're dying. They're trying to compete now with casual dining and have, hey, you want a beer with your biscuits and gravy? Well, I mean, that sounds like the breakfast of champions to me.
Well, and you do have to wonder, maybe they can get good press. Is there a rally around the barrel effect or something like that?
No pun intended.
Right. And Trump saying they got $1 billion worth of free publicity if they play their cards right.
What did Oscar Wilde say? There's no such thing as bad publicity.
Mm-hmm. Got to be talked about.
That's right, bro.
Got to be talked about. And Trump congratulated him after the reversal.
I saw that.
Said, all of your fans, very much appreciated. Good luck into the future. Make lots of money.
Do great things.
And most importantly, make your customers happy again. He's a branding master, folks.
He is. He's a shameless self-promoter as well. He should be.
This is part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting. And their River Region Contracting, Todd Clark and the team are ready to help you with that roof of yours.
Oh boy.
You should get inspections of your roof done on a regular basis. Some manufacturers say every 3 to 5 years. We've been saying here on this show, do it every year.
Yeah, that's right. With the weather we have here, absolutely. But why take chances? Because a little bit of time can really do a lot of damage.
And when you find a problem early, that's when it's going to be the cheapest to fix. And the pros there at River Region Contracting, they're going to be able to catch those small problems that are just starting early. Yep. So it's affordable. And, if you're worried about, how much is this going to cost, worried about the insurance claims process.
What they do, man.
Here's the thing. Their inspections are always free.
Yep.
So you can have peace of mind knowing, you can call them up every year. You come out free inspection. If they find an issue, they'll write up that estimate for free. They're not charging you for that. And they're insurance specialists, so they'll walk you through that claims process, make it a swift and easy experience. Y'all check them out today. That's whether you have an asphalt or a metal roof. Get it inspected by River Region Contracting. 356-8635 is their number. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Troy, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Wet feet, melting popsicles, puppy prints. Summer is hard on floors, but Pergo Vinyl by Mohawk is kid-proof, pet-proof, and life-proof. And right now, during the Pergo event at Prattville Carpet, you can get luxury vinyl, worry-free floors, plus up to $1,000 in rebates on qualifying Pergo products. So gorgeous new floors up to $1,000 back. And did I mention 12 months no interest? Get the details and shop Mohawk's Pergo event now through August 11th at PrattvilleCarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet. This is David Ernest from the Health and Wealth Show. We like to cut up and have fun, maybe poke a little fun at some politicians, but we don't take ourselves too seriously. One thing we do take seriously is your personal finances and your plans for retirement. You can tell by listening, we're a little different. Yeah, we like to have a good time on the radio, but we're dead serious about your financial future and helping you achieve your goals. At Ernest Financial, we're committed to giving you the attention you need. We don't treat you like a number. You're way more important to us. At Ernest Financial, it's about helping you today and preparing you for tomorrow. People call us who are on the verge of retirement, and they know they need a plan for the future. No matter where you are in life, Ernest Financial will help guide your every step towards retirement. Give us a call and let us show you what our individual customer attention can do for your future.
Concerned about your retirement? Call David Ernest toll-free at 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Weather, a service of H&H Carpets, where right now, get a load of this, listen close, you got a house full of carpet for $19.95 installed. Unbelievable. They're located at 6450 Atlanta Highway, just across from Walmart.
Rich Thomas weather.
It's called false fall in the weather business, but false or not, it feels great. Another beautiful day with lots of sunshine, comfortable humidity with a high temperature up to about 86. Partly cloudy, pleasantly cool tonight. Overnight low temperature down to about 62. More sun Thursday. Should be a great day with a high around 87. Risk of scattered showers and thunderstorms returning on Friday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
You can make your ASE loan payment from your phone anytime, anywhere. It's quick and easy. YourASECreditUnion.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Opportunity Lender.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASE.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Again, I'm your host, Joey Clark. Troy Carrico here in the studio with me. And you know how I constantly talk about like fat people? which
Yes.
it really is projecting the fat guy inside of me.
Well, the fat tongue inside. Of me.
Yeah, exactly.
I told Robin, and she goes, I don't get. She's
Yeah, it's the
"Robin,
back of the
tell you,
tongue.
That's where it goes. It's
Like,
visceral.
bro, you're snoring. You got a fat tongue.
You got a fat tongue,
I'm
not a fat liver.
I'm
a
not
fat tongue.
complimenting you.
God knows
either.
what your liver looks like.
And so we have some options here,
Okay.
folks. First, let's go to RFK Jr.
Oh, yeah.
And Bobby Kennedy, I think this just came out today. He's leading a team at Health and Human Services, along with Linda McMahon, the education secretary.
Oh, I'm connected with her.
Yeah, and that is very cool that you have that connection with her.
I served with her nephew in 101st.
And she was like the person, all these executive orders that Trump signed in like the first 100 days, she, I believe, was the person that wrote all of them up.
You think, oh, Vince McMahon, WWE, she's a hard charger, man. She really.
Oh, she was
she's the right person for this.
Vince in that business was always the creative genius, but
she was the
business.
She was the foundation for it. Her and her daughter. That's right.
Yeah, she took what was it was
Carnival.
It was
Carnival
a few steps removed from like porn and carnival barking and stuff like that. And then it's now what one of the
multi-billion-dollar industry,
and it's oriented towards kids and just family entertainment. And anyway, so it's Bobby Kennedy, the team there at Health and Human Services, Linda McMahon, and well, they're going to be discussing a way to tackle obesity. But you have a choice. Say you're fat. Say you're a fat kid,
right?
And you don't want to be a little porker your whole
That's
life.
right.
Like in fact, like you don't like those sorts of put downs and the fat shaming and like you don't feel
Bullying
confident
and
and all these, all these things. And or maybe you're fat and because you got bullied, you're now bullying other people and the cycle continues and you just want to break out of it.
Right.
You have two choices. Door number one is Bobby Kennedy. So let's open up door number
Let's
one
see what
here.
he's got to say.
And let's listen into.
I want you kicking ass out there. He's going to say.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr., you're HHS secretary.
Yep.
Today, the Trump administration is demanding bold reform in our medical education system. I'm leading a team at HHS with the support of Secretary McMahon at the Department of Education.
Brilliant.
That targets a situation that everyone has long recognized as wrong, but no one has yet had the gumption to fix. It's the woeful lack of nutrition education in medicine. Poor diet drives America's chronic disease crisis, fueling 7 of our 10 deadliest conditions. Each year, it claims an estimated 1 million American lives through diet-related illnesses. Meanwhile, we pour more than $4 trillion annually into treating these preventable diseases, and we continue to graduate physicians unprepared to confront their root cause. The good news is that diet not only causes these conditions, it can also prevent and reverse them. But for too long, we've instead analyzed the chronic disease crisis, commissioned studies, and pontificated about the importance of nutrition without taking any meaningful action. Recent data reveals a critical disconnect. Although all medical schools claim to include nutrition in their curricula, most medical students report receiving no formal nutrition education throughout their entire training.
Okay, I want to stop it there because that's crazy. How is that okay, my sister-in-law, she's at Vanderbilt now.
Yeah, right.
Like she's doing great. And she's been not only an amazing student, she's going to be an amazing doctor.
Sure.
But you got to wonder, like, okay, if they can handle all the other crazy stuff, and especially as they get into their specialties, why aren't you giving this base level knowledge, this common sense knowledge about nutrition?
Well, so, a good friend of ours, Dr. Pat Ryan, owner of the Sanctuary Consortium, I had a conversation. He said, Troy, the people that they're churning out of medical school, he interviews them. He goes, they have turned the model upside down. The DEI, the inclusivity has ruined the curriculum, has ruined the quality of the professors, has ruined the student. Garbage in, garbage comes out. And the things they aren't teaching is the basic preventative. So do you know what a doctor of osteopathic medicine is? Not a medical doctor. They're called DOs. And that's who I've always used in the Midwest. They're big in the Midwest. They're holistic. They can do surgery.
That's what my sister-in-law is.
That's so cool.
She went to Dothan.
That's why she's going to be good. Did she go? All right. So you know what it is. And they look at holism And I don't think that medical doctors are trained anymore in that kind of concepts.
Right. No, and that's
what he's saying. So,
one angle that Caroline has that is very useful. And she's already gone, and I think she's doing intensive care for pediatrics.
that's
at
really
Vanderbilt. Right?
that she's going to be sharp. But anyways, yeah, he's
And so what
are they
about the
teaching?
more, yeah, if
What are
you're
they
going to tell people about their health, you need to know more than just here's your prescription. And you probably need to know a little bit about what's the right thing to give because of this particular problem. Like that does take a lot of training. But if there's something short of that, if there is basic health hygiene that people can do that doctors can advise folks, yeah, maybe. But that's been always the classic joke. You go and the doctor goes, "You're too fat. Stop smoking.
Or you're getting old, and
right.
you
probably need a
happens.
CPAP machine." Right. But here, let's keep going with
All right, let's go.
Bobby Kennedy.
This leads to a troubling reality. Most medical students recognize nutrition as necessary. Nearly all medical residents are asked to counsel patients about nutrition. But fewer than a quarter of practicing physicians feel adequately prepared to provide nutrition advice. We can reverse the chronic disease epidemic simply by changing our diets and lifestyles. But to do that, we need nutrition to be a basic part of every doctor's training. We'll start by embedding nutrition directly into college pre-med programs and testing it on the MCAT. Every future physician should master the language of prevention before they even touch a stethoscope. Under President Trump's leadership, we are going to systematically transform nutrition education throughout American medicine. For more than 200 of America's medical schools, 13,000 residency and fellowship programs, and ultimately each of the nation's 1.1 million practicing physicians. In the future, doctors won't just prescribe drugs, they'll be able to prescribe diets as well. By confidently screening for diet-related diseases and collaborating with nutrition experts to recommend food-based solutions. Our reforms will save our country hundreds of billions of dollars and prevent millions of debilitating chronic diseases. This is an approach that is both radical and common sense. We're going to reconnect medicine with its roots. Hippocrates, the father of medicine, said, "Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food." His advice remains true today, and we're bringing back food to its proper place in medicine.
Hippocrates, man. Hippocrates. He dropped the Hippocrates on us.
So I like that. That's door number one. And remember, I began this segment with like, you have a choice here.
Yeah.
Like you're a big fat, you're a butter mountain. And you don't want to be that.
Big stone candy mountain.
Like I don't want to melt in the sun if I go to the beach. It's in the white
Can I
sandy
have a
beaches.
King Dong or a Twinkie.
Right. So here's door number two.
I just want to say something. I like him. I really.
Oh, Bobby Kennedy.
I just listen.
Yeah.
I love him, and you know who he's married to?
Yeah, Cheryl Hines.
Yeah, who's on
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
God, she's so funny, man. All right.
Yeah, no, and like he did something I think with Flagrant. He did an interview where he talks about the insights of knowing Larry David.
Do you think Larry David supports Trump?
No,
I don't know. Well,
No.
Just because he's Jewish doesn't he's got Cheryl
No,
Hines on
it's
his
not
show.
about him being Jewish. It's more Larry's been always a flaming lip.
I could see Jeff Garland's wife, Larry.
Yeah,
You support him.
No, Larry is the one. He just penned an op-ed in the New York Times after Bill Maher met with Trump and had that like.
Oh, that's right. He did. I
And
remember.
Larry David wrote that thing called "My Dinner with Hitler." So yeah, I don't think Larry David supports Trump.
Okay, thanks.
But
Just want to know.
that's door number one.
Yes,
Bobby
sir.
Kennedy
All right, I got it.
with Cheryl Hines and all this other stuff.
Yes, and Larry David.
Door number two. Eli Lilly on Tuesday said its daily weight loss pill helped patients with obesity and type 2 diabetes shed weight in a late-stage trial, meeting the study's main goal and clearing the way for the company to file for approval of the drug globally. The treatment is inching closer to becoming a new needle-free alternative in the highly lucrative market for weight loss and diabetes drugs called GLP-1s. More convenient pills could boost supply for the treatments and make them easier to access than the pricey weekly injections currently dominating the space. The Eli Lilly pill also would not come with dietary restrictions. In contrast to a similar oral treatment
Eat what you like.
from chief rival Novo Nordisk.
Yep.
And their shares climbed 4% yesterday on that news. The highest dose of the pill, or for glipron, yeah, I think that's about right, or for glipron, helped patients lose 10.5% of their weight, or 22.9 pounds on average at 72 weeks, compared with 2.2% weight loss among those who took a placebo. The drug's weight loss in the study was 9.6% when analyzing all patients, regardless of discontinuations. Huh. So, and that's always been the thing with these GLP-1s. Like, there is something, well, unless you're like a bodybuilder and you're used to it, or you did other stuff, about sticking yourself with a needle that's like,
It's just they're insulin needles, so ain't that bad.
yeah, but
They're
it's
like,
still
that's that long. You know?
Still, there's something about sticking yourself with a needle where
In
you're
the
like,
gut.
yeah, like it's not
subcutaneously.
But if it's like, oh, I already take pills in the morning, like just add this one, and I'm going to lose weight doing it.
I was going to say, well, what about people like that shoot heroin? But I'm thinking they don't need to lose weight. They don't need to lose weight. They're already there. No, I'm with you. I think what's interesting though is listen to how it's that release is worded. We are looking at that because we weren't doing what Bobby Kennedy has already opined. You know, go look at videos from the 50s, like public service videos. They got the kids, they're climbing ropes in the gym.
Oh, absolutely.
They're not fat.
Right. Oh, no. Like, it was rare. Like, you see the old, like, sideshow, like, come see the freak.
Yeah.
It's a 250-pound man. And that's like every guy.
Or football players in NFL. That lineman's 197 pounds.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, no, now it's like, dadgum, there's so many people walking around looking like they're preckers.
The other thing he didn't, I think, really plug is we're going to fix the foods you are eating. Getting rid of the bioengineering, and putting in cane sugar instead of fructose or sucrose into drinks. And he's on. I think he's a luminary.
Now, I got to keep reading this story, though. Existing GLP-1 injections have shown greater weight loss than Eli Lilly's pill, but having an oral option that offers more than 10% for patients with both obesity and type 2 diabetes is actually very good. So that's positive, says Dr. Caroline Opovian, co-director of the Center for Weight Loss or Weight Management and Wellness in Brigham and Women's Hospital. But, and this is a big old hairy but she called it, quote unquote, concerning that more patients, 10% of those on the highest dose, stop taking the pill due to side effects compared with what has been seen in separate studies on existing injections. The side effects of Eli Lilly's pill were mainly gastrointestinal, such as nausea and vomiting, and were mild to moderate in severity. An estimated 23% of those who took the highest dose experienced vomiting, while 36.5% and 27.4% had nausea and diarrhea. Pardon me. Like
oily discharge and stool.
Right.
They always say that when I think oily discharge, wrong dipstick if you're looking to see an oil.
Around 20% of patients stop taking the pill for any reason, which is roughly the same rate as the placebo group. Well, that's just like folks being lazy.
Right.
But yeah, I'd rather do it the old fashioned way instead of having the risk of vomiting or coming out both ends.
It's not working. It's not working. He said it to his friend. It's not. He likes taking that shot, but it's not working.
Let's go to line one, see who this is. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey guys, this is Bill.
Hey Bill, how are you?
Since y'all are talking about weight loss, I'm going to mention somebody that I hadn't seen for a couple of years. And I saw a picture of her the other day, and I did not recognize her. Have you seen Tanya Terry lately?
Tanya Terry?
Yeah.
No.
That used to be the news on the news at WSFA.
Oh, locally. Okay, yeah, we're looking her up. Yeah.
No, I haven't seen.
She's lost a lot of weight.
That's good.
I did not recognize her.
That's amazing.
When I read the caption and saw her name, I said, "Where is she in the picture?" This isn't her.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Wow. Yeah.
So,
no, I'm seeing what you mean.
That's amazing. Well,
yeah.
Oh no, and it's great when somebody gets on, and especially when they do it the right way and it's sustainable and you just feel better all around.
Yeah.
To me, it's not as much as I'd like to be vain and have some of that. It's more about how do you feel, like physically, like your underlying health baseline, but also like mentally. Just are you in a better place now? And I think it's cool when somebody achieves that.
Well, you know what's funny, Bill? I got a good friend. He was in the military. He happens to work at the Museum of Fine Arts as a security chief there, and I won't mention his name, but he's a great American, Marion military graduate guy, just a great human being. He weighed probably close to Bill. He probably weighed about 325 pounds, and he was only about 5'10". He's lost over 125. And people talk about side effects. Well, what's worse? The side effect of some gastrointestinal distress or the load on your heart when you weigh that much? So I'm good. And I think Tanya Terry, how big was she, Bill, at one time? I'm not familiar with it. Was she rather large?
Yeah, she was pretty robust.
Okay. Well, God bless her then. That's awesome.
Well, I love to see people who can turn their lives around and do it. But at the same time, there's some of these drugs that if you really get to reading about them and then you do a little bit of research on them, that would be a really tough decision.
Yeah. Also talking about Eli Lilly's new oral treatment, that when you take a pill, half of that's bypassed into your liver, whereas a direct shot is not bypassed to your liver, the toxicity. So something that also I'm sure I'd like to see studies on the oral pill.
Yeah, well, I know a guy that lives in Birmingham, and we kind of bumped into him. My wife had some health concerns a couple of months ago and had to have a couple of surgeries. And we bumped into a guy, and he was like the guy you were talking about. He weighs about 350, and he's down to probably 140 pounds.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
But the side effect that hit him basically put him in the hospital.
Wow.
And it did stuff to his intestines and his stomach. And it's basically irreversible.
Man.
So, sometimes I'd rather see people do it naturally.
Sure.
But that's not easy.
You ain't kidding.
Oh, absolutely.
You can't fight genetics.
That's the brightest statement anyone said, I think, on a call-in that I've heard in a long time.
And we went over it earlier in the week.
The
hardest thing to get rid of is visceral fat. And so that sort of internal fat, you could diet, be in a caloric deficit, work out, all this stuff, and you lose a lot of fat on right under your skin, but you don't lose that stuff around your gut.
Yeah, it takes a lot of discipline to do that. And a lot of times people ruin their health trying to do it because it is so hard, especially if your genetic makeup is the type that makes you gain weight easily.
Yep.
I never gained easily. I had to fight and I went from 140 pounds when I graduated high school to 9 years later, or maybe 10 years later, I was at 235 pounds.
Wow.
But I was like, I had a 28-inch waist and was about 7%.
You were a man at that point, man. That's great. How's your wife doing? Is she okay? Like, you kind of just glossed over that. Is she all right?
Yeah. She inherited a gene that causes her carotid artery to collect blockage.
Yeah.
And it was an incidental find. She got hoarse and couldn't talk very well.
Wow.
And it came and went. We just thought it was allergies. Went to the doctor. Doctor said, you don't have a sore throat. You don't have drainage. You need to go to an ENT. So they sent her to an ENT. The ENT found a polyp on her vocal cord, a 9-millimeter polyp, which is pretty good size.
That's pretty size. Yeah, it is.
And long story short, the ENT didn't follow up with her, didn't tell her what he was supposed to. She went and got the report and the imaging, and we were going to take it to another ENT. Happened to open it. First paragraph talks about the polyp, the size of it, the makeup of it. Second paragraph says patient should be notified immediately of severe carotid stenosis on the left side.
We were just talking about medicine and the training of medicine and medical doctors.
So she had a carotid artery that was between 95 and 98%
Man,
depleted.
My God.
Well, God bless.
So
her.
she was days or weeks away from a stroke.
Thank God.
And the original ENT calls and said, "I've got you scheduled for polyp surgery."
What a disconnect. In that case, Bill, that could have been fatal. And thank God, thank you, Father, for looking over her, because that's a serious matter.
Well, Bill, I got to run. I appreciate the call, though, man. Good call.
Thanks,
Thank you for sharing
great.
that too.
Y'all have a great day.
You too. This part of the program, in fact, the entire hour, brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon are ready to help you, whether you're looking to buy a home or looking to refinance that current home of yours. A lot of reasons to refinance. It could be you got credit card debt on your back. Could be you took out a second mortgage that had an adjustable rate.
Yeah.
And you've been getting killed.
Those
monthly.
arms, those terrible arms.
It really has been hurting you, weighing you down. Could be you want to reinvest in your property or yourself, or maybe you're a Bitcoin maxi and you're like, let's throw
Let's
it
go
all in there.
All in.
I'm not saying you should do that. Do your own research. But whatever your goals are, they can help you meet those goals. And especially if you're a veteran, they can help you with the best offers you're going to get.
And they turn that stuff around in like 2 weeks, man.
It's an amazing turnaround time.
Unheard of.
Y'all check them out today. Just call them up direct to 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Hello, everyone. Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better Business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Michael Cohen from Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how you doing today, sir? I'm sorry, I hit the wrong one. Hey, Michael, how you doing today?
I'm still doing great. How are you?
Doing all right. So let's talk about how much service there at Cohen's makes a difference. I know we've hit it before, but it's good to underline the point that it's not like, number one, as soon as you walk in, you got folks over there hassling you and upselling all this stuff. It's more like, no, really, what are you here for? You're really trying to guide the customer, and it's not like say some of the big box stores in that regard.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, there's no high pressure salespeople here. And the biggest thing we do is try to solve whatever it is that you came in for. So sometimes people come in here because they're looking for a new TV or a new oven or something, and there's a lot of information that we need to know. We need to know dimensions of cabinets and how far you're going to be seated and how big your existing television is, or what oven do you have previously and what did you like or not like about it. So there's a lot of questions and answers that we have to go through. But sometimes people come in here because they need a bulb for their oven.
There you go.
So they get to come back to the service department, and either we have one in stock or we get it for them, and then they can go home and put their bulb in. And some of these things are so complicated, you actually need a technician to put the bulb in, which, it seems like we're regressing, but, some things are a little more complicated to do little things wrong than they should be, but we don't get a choice in how they manufacture. They don't quite listen to us yet. But go ahead.
Well, I was also going to say y'all can do price matching, right?
That's great.
Yeah. So we also, if one of our competitors has something advertised online that we can verify, then we're more than happy to match that if we're not already at the same price. A lot of times we have customers tell us that we're already a few dollars less than what the big box store is selling it for anyway. And it took us a little while to learn some of the price matching because, currently we don't charge to haul off your old appliance or your old television, but my competitors, I want to say some of them charge $50 a piece. Wow. So you get a new washer and dryer, and while they may have a little cheaper delivery than we charge, by the time they charge you $50 plus $50 to haul off your old one, now they're $50 or $70 more than what we are. Yeah. So you kind of got to compare all the apples to all the apples. Well, but on the end of service, we also have our own technicians that'll come to your home and fix your washer, or your refrigerator, your oven. And, that to me is the biggest difference because, with all of these big box stores, you call a 1-800 who cares. And, we try to handle everything with us. And, a lot of times we do have to get the manufacturer involved, and unfortunately, sometimes the customer needs to talk to the manufacturer, but mostly we can get it all handled here and where it can be pretty smooth and painless for the customer.
Well, folks, you got to check them out today, especially if you're looking for new TV, new audio, sound system options, maybe massage chair, new grills, also the entire appliance side with new laundry room fixtures, washer, dryer unit. Could be you need to fill out a kitchen. They have your back there at Cohen's. You can always shop from home at thinkcohens.com, but I encourage you to stop by 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. 9 to 6, Monday to Friday is when they're open those days, and then 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And find Michael or one of the great team members. Say, hey, I heard Michael on the radio with that Joey Clark fella.
That's right. Y'all come see us, and it's getting to be football season. It's going to be fall, and be a lot more outside activities with grilling and watching your favorite football team outside while you're grilling. So y'all come see us and let us help you make the right choice.
Well, appreciate it, Michael. Talk again soon.
Thanks, Mike.
Take care.
Again, that's Michael Cohen with Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Final hour coming up.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. A school shooting in Minneapolis has taken the lives of an 8 and 10-year-old. 17 others, including 14 kids, have been wounded. Some are in critical condition. The shooting this morning during Mass at the Annunciation Catholic School. The shooter, a male in his 20s, killed himself. No motive known, as the investigation is just starting. Lawyers for Kilmore Abrego Garcia says he wants to seek asylum in the United States. The 30-year-old Salvadoran national was detained Monday in Baltimore by U.S. Customs and Immigration Enforcement after leaving a Tennessee jail on Friday. Administration officials have said that he's part of the dangerous MS-13 gang. On Wall Street, The Dow up 177 points. This is SRN News.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys, and I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month, but what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia. I got a tour of their headquarters. I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by McPhillips Schimbaum.
My name is Aaron Luck, a partner with the law firm of McPhillips Schimbaum. If you or someone in your family has been seriously injured by the negligence of someone else, call me directly.
262-1911. Rich Thomas Weather.
It's called false fall in the weather business, but false or not, it feels great. Another beautiful day with lots of sunshine, comfortable humidity with a high temperature up to about 86. Partly cloudy, pleasantly cool tonight. Overnight low temperature down to about 62. More sun Thursday. Should be a great day with a high around 87. Risk of scattered showers and thunderstorms returning on Friday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Del Rey to Publix.
1819 News.
A Republican has handily won the special election held this past Tuesday to fill the House District 11 seat. Coleman businessman Heath Albright received 88% of the vote in his race against Democrat challenger Alex Braswell. Just over 3,000 residents in that district turned out to vote. The HD 11 seat was opened up earlier this year when State Representative Randall Shedd joined the staff for the Senate President Pro Tem Garland Gudger. The chairman of the Alabama Republican Party, John Wall, is congratulating Albright on this victory, calling Albright a proven conservative leader, a man of faith, and fighter for Alabama families. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Are you enjoying 1819 News? If so, consider joining 1819 News as a member. As a nonprofit news organization, we depend on the support of Alabamians like you. Memberships start out as little as $5 a month, and you'll get access to exclusive content only offered to our members. You'll be supporting independent journalism done by people who cherish Alabama values. Become a member today by visiting 1819news.com and clicking Become a Member. That's 1819news.com and click Become a Member today.
In Birmingham, incumbent Mayor Randall Woodfin won re-election with 74% of the vote. According to campaign finance reports at the Alabama Secretary of State's website, Woodfin spent $1.3 million in this latest campaign to win re-election. A total of 24,000 Birmingham residents turned out to vote this past Tuesday, which has Woodfin spending $55 per vote. Jefferson County Commissioner LaShonda Scales was also in this race. She came in second. She spent $40,000 and received about 4,700 votes. In the city of Hoover, next door to Birmingham, incumbent Mayor Frank Brocato is out of that position. Former Hoover Police Chief Nick Dursey secured 56% of the vote to Brocato's 44%. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
WAKA Action 8 News has brought you the River Region's first 9 p.m. news since 2007. Now you can watch Action 8 News at 9 on the Montgomery CW. Want to know where to find it? Go to Channel 22 with your antenna, DirecTV or Dish Network, Channel 14 on Charter Spectrum, Channel 7 on C Spire, and Channel 19 on WOW. Get your Weather Authority forecast, lace up sports coverage, and your local news. It makes a difference where you get your 9 p.m. news. Watch Action 8 News at 9 on the Montgomery CW.
Hi, I'm Jane Ray, account executive with Blue Water Broadcasting. Why should you advertise with us? Radio is an active medium. It can create immediacy, driving shoppers to a specific store, brand, or to take a specific action. Radio ads engage with the audience in a personal and unique way. Contact me, Jane Ray, by going to bluewaterbroadcasting.com to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's check, see if there's anything big and breaking right now. No, nothing too crazy though. Did you see played it a little earlier in the show, the Starship liftoff and reentry?
They needed that.
That was awesome.
They needed that. It was beautiful.
Yeah, like the proof of concept that like be able to take a huge payload up there, drop it off in orbit, and then do a particular maneuver, and then the one where they're splashed down.
Yeah, it was great.
Like really, the reason it blows up after it hits the water is they were trying to break the heat shield.
Right. The heat shields. That's what they were.
And see how hot that thing came in? Like it's like over 1,000 degrees. That's why it was glowing orange.
That's why the Russians lost so many people on the original reentry vehicles. We need more heat shield.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Well, and they would do a land, like a ground land
in Baikal out there in the middle of Mongolia. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where, man.
Speaking of
have a good
SpaceX
parachute.
And Russia has finally entered its first rocket. This is what people understand about Ukraine, the importance of Ukraine. Ukraine, the best engineers, the best scientists in the Soviet Union were almost all Ukrainian. And they're the ones that built the Soyuz. They're the ones that built the Marara rocket system. So Russia's kind of been like, they've got their own proof of concept. It's ready to fly. Listen to this. They're still using technology from the 1970s. They have
nuts.
Well, but you know what's scary? When Obama gutted NASA, we were using them to put our people.
Oh,
in space.
absolutely scary.
And that's just unacceptable.
Have you heard the story of, and I couldn't do it justice, and maybe need to look it back up in the Musk biography.
Yeah.
With Elon, initially, their idea was not building them. We'll go buy some of these old school rockets from the Russians. And that whole saga trying to buy stuff from the Russians, they said in the first meeting, it was like, say a sentence, take a shot of vodka, to where like most of his team is passed out. And then they're like, well, come on back. They think they've got a price nailed down. And they've doubled the price. It was just a scam.
Russian away.
Wasting a lot of
Did I ever tell you the
time.
story about I flew on a MiG-25? My then wife, which anyways, she surprised me. And for $3,500, I'd come back from Iraq and she cleared it with my command. I went to St. Petersburg. That we flew to St. Petersburg. I didn't know where we were going till I got on the plane. And she said, we're going out of country for a little while for vacation. She took me there and I got to, for $3,500, I got issued an old Soviet Air flight suit. I went to 2 days of ground school. I went to fly on a MiG-25, which is that high. Basically, it's a rocket engine with that. We went to 72,000 feet above the Earth. I saw the curvature of the Earth.
Oh
And
man.
everything. Listen, it was so cool. But before we went up, we did 2 shots of vodka, and when we came down, we polished the bottle off. And I go, you're my kind of Air Force.
That sounds like that's awesome.
It's a true story, and it was. Listen, it was all amazing. It really was.
That's very cool.
So all you flat earthers out there,
you've actually seen the curvature of the Earth,
unless the Russians were using some sort of holographic.
Oh, I don't get them started, man.
No, sure.
Yeah, I
Listen,
try.
can I
I
ask you
try
something?
with Pamela over here.
I know that, but can I ask you something? Your generation, you're my son, my stepson, my son's age.
Yeah,
he's 37. Do you think that there's data overload in your
Yes.
generation where people don't know what they get vapor locked? You guys get, not you, your colleagues sometimes get vapor locked. They don't know what to believe. And listen,
I get there
there's
sometimes.
doctors that I know that are your age. They think that we didn't put a man on the moon, Joey.
Yeah.
Well, Eddie doesn't believe it.
Oh, and we're Pamela. Yeah,
Pamela, if you're listening, we're going to have a talk when you come in, young lady.
I'm
Report
sorry.
to my office, Airman.
I'm sorry, Mr. Buke. I
You report to my
apologize. I apologize vociferously, but getting Troy on you about that.
Oh my gosh! I mean, listen.
But you're right. There is information overload. It's like I get to those moments like I don't know what to believe here,
And then
I
you
am.
disengage sometimes. Then you just disengage a lot. Not you, because you have an inquisitive mind.
Sure.
My stepson, he's like, I just shut down.
Oh no! If I didn't have this gig, I probably
Shut it
would have
out.
just shut it out. Like, oh, whatever, and make a joke out of everything. Like, and a lot of these folks who are making bank being comedians and stuff, like, I see why they went that route. Like, it's easier to sort of react and and I think that's the two things or the few things I run to.
What?
One is I wrote about this months ago. Like when you feel that coming darkness, like either you're bumfuzzled and just overwhelmed, or some like dark stuff seems like it's on the horizon in general or in your own personal life. The first option is laugh at it. Like if you can laugh at, even laugh in the face of death. Like you can kind of like even gallows humor and like these sorts of things. Like that, laughter is somewhat of a medicine. It could also be turned to something cruel if you're not careful. But then number two would be sort of like just blatant curiosities, like what Elon is doing with SpaceX and the Starship program and all this stuff. And the other would be you go back to those things that are you can't prove but are eternal and that you believe. Even if you try not to believe them, you still believe them. Those sorts of things. You go back to that sort of thing, and you'll be all right.
It's funny you say that because I always say, and from the things I've faced in my past on the field of battle and so forth, when you don't fear death anymore, you're truly liberated. You're not bound. When the worst thing that could possibly happen to you is not really what's driving you, you find yourself liberated to do things that you wouldn't normally do or think.
Here.
So I believe that.
Now, I'm looking at 1819news.com, and the top headline they just put out after 2 o'clock is, it's absolutely ridiculous. Senator Britt blasts dim pushback on Trump deploying National Guard to D.C. to solve crime problem. She told Alabama Morning News with JT, well, here, I'll just read the full quote. Well, it's absolutely ridiculous. It shows that, they're once again the party of they lack common sense and seem to be somewhat embracing crime. I mean, think about it. I mean, you think about the crime rate in D.C., she added, and President Trump has laid it in front of the American people. He has put it in front and said, look at the capital of Colombia. Look at the capital of this, this, and this. He's gone down one by one and shown how disproportionate the crime is there in Washington, D.C. It's simply unacceptable in the greatest country in the world. People should be able to come. School groups should be able to come. Families should be able to come and listen. Young people should be able to come and work for their state, work for their country without fear of having to walk home to their apartment or their hotel at night safely. I, for one, this is personal. I had a staffer that was actually held at gunpoint just over a year ago. And so, we've got to clean this up. President Trump is doing what no one else has done before. Over 1,000 arrests, over 100 illegal firearm seized. He's doing what should have been done a long time ago. By the way, Senator Britt will be joining us in studio tomorrow at 1:30. Look forward to that.
Okay.
Looking forward to that. And I apologize again. Hi, Pamela. How are you?
Joey, let me handle this. Airman, that's how do you approach your commander's office? You knock and you say, Airman Dubuque reporting. Have you lost your mind? I know. Oh, it's the Air Force.
Have
you say,
you?
hey, sir, how are you?
Listen, no, we do have to do a reporting statement.
I know that. I know you're trained well. So really, talk to me. Tell me
There's
what's going on in that brain housing group.
There's no way we went to the moon.
How about this?
There's no way.
So listen.
I got to hit a break.
Okay.
And I'll let y'all get into it.
Okay.
Because this will be fun.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
At Guardian Credit Union, it's not just about the dollars and cents. It's about relationships. If you want it, so do we. Need more adventure? So do we! Look forward to escaping the ordinary?
So do we.
Want to sharpen your skills in the kitchen?
So do we.
Want your kid to stick with music lessons?
So do we.
I think they got it, guys.
So do we.
Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Housing Opportunity. NMLS 912757.
Here at Adams Drugs, we let our customers do the talking. I'm here with Ronnie Taunton, who was a longtime customer of Adams Drugs, moved away for 3 years, and came back to town recently. Ronnie, what did you do for another pharmacy when you moved out of town?
When we moved to Fairhope, we were looking for a local. We did not want to go to a big box store. And we did find one, but the service was not up to par. Adams Drug really spoiled us.
What was it like to come back to Adams Drugs again?
It was very easy. We picked up the phone when we got back, came up to Prattville and called the branch there in Prattville, and they took that phone call and did the rest of it. We didn't have to do a thing. It was very simple. We're glad to be back with them. They're so efficient and customer service oriented.
Come in to any of our 12 Adams Drugs locations. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net to find the location nearest you. Adams Drugs is your independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com. This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. And joining us in studio is Pamela Dubuque.
Hello, Pamela.
And I somewhat feel responsible for this because I kind of threw under the bus, said that you don't believe we ever went to the moon.
I knew it as soon as I heard it. I was coming down the road and I was like,
guilty.
I'll be there in 1 minute.
You know, I would see that on Joey, but not you. You've really
Why?
disappointed me now.
I like to keep expectations low anyway.
Well, then you know what you've met them. No, so let me ask you this. Let's walk the dog for a minute.
Okay.
If what you believe is true, let's just use some deductive logic here. If what you believe is true, that we did not put a man on the moon,
yes,
I would posit this to you: the greatest scam in the world, which required China's acquiescence, Russia's acquiescence, our acquiescence. We can't agree on anything. Do you know how many people would have to really be quiet?
Know.
And did you ever see who was it? Alan Shepard get up and punch that dude in the face on in an interview, and when he goes, "Well, are you
But
sure
have you
that we
seen
went to?"
what Buzz
He's like,
Aldrin has
"Boom,
said
man."
too?
What?
He said we haven't gone.
No, man, no. Listen,
I know it is
men
the
died
greatest
getting
scam.
there. People died getting there. Okay, that's
Allegedly.
very real.
Allegedly.
Gus Grissom, he's very real.
I mean, they might have died, but getting there. Lots of people have died in great scams.
I mean, I'm happy to. I've had this debate with.
I know, and the
already.
thing. Okay, and so what? Okay, we do believe in a couple of things. We believe in supernatural things. You and I
Yes.
do.
Yeah.
We share cryptozoology. We think that.
Yes.
There's got to be a Loch Ness monster out there somewhere.
Or Bigfoot.
Oh yes, or the
Yeah.
skunk ape. They call them the skunk
The
ape
skunk
in certain
ape.
areas down
Mhm.
here. But see, we could do a whole show on cryptozoology.
Listen,
man, I would do that with you. I totally would do that.
I'm going to launch my own
Podcast.
at least an hour to do conspiracy theories and stuff like that.
You know, I've always thought, Joey, on the podcast that you were going to help produce, I went in the right direction because of the people I have affiliates. But if I could do anything, it would be people want to hear about people.
So give me
want to
one.
talk about that. People want to talk about it. They
I
just want to talk
was
about it.
telling Cameron, I think yesterday or the day before, we were talking about it, and I said Troy is going to be my guest regularly on this show. I mean, it would. There are listeners who listen to me and Greg who want me to do that, and I'm going to do it.
What is cryptozoology?
Cryptozoids. It means cryptids are creatures that it's Locke's black swan theory.
It's
Just because
all
you've never
across
seen
the
a black
world.
swan doesn't mean a black swan doesn't exist.
All
So it's
across the
about
world.
zoo,
Yeah.
supernatural creatures, chupacabra. There's
The
a lot of ghetto.
chupacabra,
There's a lot of ghetto
yes.
chupacabra here. And I see ghetto chupacabra.
No,
around
those
here
are
all
just the
time.
cats that people feed,
Okay, That's in
chicken wing
Springfield,
bones.
Ohio.
It's like, stop feeding the cats, Alva. Don't need that.
I saw a terrible
But
man.
yeah, we could talk at length.
Totally
about
would.
that.
Yes, I totally. I'm down with that. But so back to this. Did you? What else do you believe the world? Do you believe the Earth's flat?
No,
Huh? Well,
I'm not convinced either way.
I'm indifferent. All right, Pamela.
I am so highly skeptical of
everything.
Everything
That's what
that
I'm
we've
talking about.
ever been told.
How old are you? I know
38.
You're just my son's age.
I'm not
and
afraid to say, yeah.
Well, now my point is this: your generation, your group has become vapor locked on shit. It's like I'm disengaging.
I don't think that there's a lot that we have been told the whole truth about.
That's what my son says.
I don't think so.
I don't trust the government to tell me anything. In fact,
Almost anything.
Okay.
Like we can go back to the Titanic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, seriously.
Oh, yeah,
and the people that were killed on that and the submarine explosion. Some of these things, I don't necessarily believe that the people died in them either. And they just were relocated.
Do you think Jim
living a
Morrison? Do you
different
think Jim
life.
Morrison's still around? I hope he is. God, I hope he is. I love the Doors.
Did Hitler get to Argentina?
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
Bengali. He's down
There
there.
is some Nazis definitely got to
Oh, God,
Argentina.
yeah.
I don't know
Very,
Hitler.
very-
did.
Absolutely.
Most did, but yeah. Listen. Okay. I understand what we're going to do, Joey. Is I'm going to chalk it up to her youthful indiscretions. And I
Listen,
love her. I love her. She's a sister at arms.
why would we have not gone back? Why?
Hey, I got news for you, and I
It's
can't.
it's hard.
I'm not liberty to
It's
discuss
hard.
this.
Yeah, it's
I'm
hard.
not at liberty
It's
to.
harder now today in 2025 than it was in 1969.
Well, it's because we gutted NASA for the longest time. It got derelict.
Why would we have done that?
Because
Because we
our
already
priorities.
won the space race.
No, but
Yeah.
but listen, stop. No. Let me finish this. What you don't know is there's things in motion right now that are going to revolutionize what's happening on the moon very soon.
For the first time ever.
Yeah. Yes. No. Not for the first time ever.
We have a
do you know?
clip of you
Listen.
just
Do you know
saying
that? Do you
yes.
know that there is a Turing plaque up there that you can shoot a laser at, and it will return? Oh, a satellite put it there, right? Is that what you're going to say?
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm going to work on her. I'm going to work on her.
Well, this has stirred up a couple of calls. Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, it's Kilroy.
Hey, Kilroy. How you doing?
He's on my side.
All right.
No, he's not.
Well, here's what's important. It's not the flat Earth. It's not JFK. It's not the moon landing. Those are all distractions keeping us from the topic that's the most important of our time, and that is the fact that birds aren't real.
Oh boy!
I
love that one.
Boy.
There are fake birds,
there-
absolutely.
There is no black swan because birds are not real. I will die on this hill.
But
There
all
are
birds?
drone
Incoming.
birds, absolutely drone
I
birds.
think he's just trying to stir the pot right now.
He is.
Have you ever seen a baby pigeon?
Listen,
Mic drop.
I have. That's funny. I have them pooping on. I have the wrens. Why do wrens build their nest right where people? They love to live where people are. You leave a backpack out, they'll build a nest in.
Because they're spy drones of the NSA.
They're
spies.
Well, I think more the dragonflies are.
Dragonflies are. Listen, they're the only predator in the world that attacks its prey head on in the air. All of them usually do side shots.
That's how I would do it too.
Come straight at whatever it is. Wow. Yeah, that's cool.
Respect.
I love them. Yeah. They're like age. They look like Apache helicopters. You know, they're like. What else you got for us, Kilroy? What about chupacabras? What about chupacabras?
I once choked a chupacabra to death with my bare hand for not saying grace. Okay.
All right then.
All right. I'll see some of y'all tonight.
All right.
Later, man. Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
This is me again.
Hey, Crawdad.
Troy, do you have a website or an email? I want to follow up with you.
Yes, I am. Yes, I do. Now, I'm happy to. I'll give you my email, and then you can also. I don't know if you do X or Twitter or LinkedIn. I'm on both of those. You ready? You prepared a copy? I'll tell you what, Joey. How do you want me to do this?
If you want to give your email,
yeah, it's real fast. You can contact me at my name, Troy Carrico, TROY. CARICO, Troy Carrico, one word, at protonmail.com, protonmail.com. And I'll be happy to engage in anything that you would like to discuss.
I'm still writing.
You got it. Troy Carrico, one word, at protonmail.com.
Spell your last name one.
That's Charlie Alpha Romeo, India Charlie Oscar, Carrico, like a calico cat, but with an R instead of an L.
CARICO.
Yep.
CO.
You got it.
Carrico.
I'm a paisano.
Thank you, Troy.
Thank you,
I'll
brother.
be with you.
Thank you, brother. Thanks.
Appreciate it, Crawdad. So have we squashed this?
Yeah.
We agree to disagree.
Well, no, listen, I understand. I feel sorry for you because
I love when people say that.
I have pity on you, but no, because my son is the same. It's like he's that. Troy, I don't trust anything that I see anymore.
I don't.
And that's very sad to me.
It is sad. But
we're going to do a show. We're going to do, listen, I got to talk to you. I'm launching a podcast soon. Joey's going to help produce. Yeah, I can get some really good guests. Lou and his crew has got some really
fun.
Lou Elizondo, yeah.
No, I got to, before we hit another break, a very big story here.
Oh,
The
what do we
folks
got?
in Alabama, both senators have teamed up to address this issue. Tuberville and Britt. An ongoing dispute between Fox, like the whole big company, Fox,
right, Fox,
and YouTube TV at the start of college football season is unacceptable, according to Senators Katie Britt and Tommy Tuberville. YouTube TV emailed subscribers on Monday that Fox channels would or could be removed from YouTube TV as early as Wednesday if an agreement between the two companies isn't reached. Auburn is set to kick off its football season at
Friday.
Baylor on Fox
That's
at
right.
7 p.m. on Friday.
That's right. That's coming up.
Coach Tuberville put out, college football is the heart and soul of America. Whether cheering for the Crimson Tide or Auburn Tigers, it brings our state together. But Google is blocking Fox from streaming games on YouTube TV to make more money. Make a deal and let's get on with the season. Senator Britt put out, it's unacceptable that during SEC opening weekend, many fans wanting to cheer on Auburn against Baylor might not be able to watch. I hope Google resolves this quickly to keep Fox channels on YouTube TV.
You know, what's kind of very apparent to me is I talk to a lot of older fans of college football. They're just not excited anymore because of the NIL and the transfer.
Really?
Now, listen, I have guys that are hardcore Auburn, Alabama.
Yeah.
You know what? I just don't follow as much as I used to. It's like free agency now in baseball. It's changed everything.
That is
And
sad.
I mean, it really has affected, I think, a lot of people's outlook on things.
It is sad. And maybe we're just going through a transition period into something that new traditions and
What are
new
we gonna turn
memories will
into?
be
Transition from football to what? Football? Like
Or
European
no, it'd still
football?
be football, but
You said
it's like-
transition.
but I said like transition the way we watch, and how we put together teams.
I was trying to do the Beavis, but
Like-
transition. You said transition, tranny.
I can't have nothing.
Hey, did you see that Texas Texas Christian quarterback came out as a fur file, identifies as a cat, wants to be treated like he has a.
Yeah, you were telling me this other day.
Wait, what?
Yeah. We'll talk about it at the break. He's made $2 million in NIL. He's a cat.
I don't know what the furry thing is.
On the sideline, look, he does this for the listeners that can't see. I'm cleaning myself.
No, he doesn't.
Licks
when
the
he
back of
sweats,
his hand
when he sweats,
and
when he
rubs
sweats.
his brow.
I just made that up, but
Oh,
he's a cat. He's out
goodness.
there.
That is
Gracious.
bizarre.
Oh, well.
I don't
Anyway.
understand that.
Let's hit a break. First, this part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And if you're a man and you're not feeling yourself,
We're talking about this. Yeah.
don't assume it's just aging. Guys, 40s, 50s, 60s, it can be like you're slowing down and you go, it's just I'm getting older. Yeah, my time is come and gone. I'm no longer in my prime. Doesn't have to be that way, gentlemen. There are, solutions to your problem. The urologist and providers there at Montgomery Men's Health can provide those solutions specifically to your body and goals. Consultation, including blood work, is just $99 with results before you leave. And it can also address like ED, other performance issues, if that's what you got going on, unfortunately. But discretion is the word over there. And by the way, on the low testosterone thing, it's not just guys getting older, it's also guys in their 20s and 30s. So you don't feel well, like you are losing muscle mass, getting bigger around the middle.
That mental fog. We talked about that.
Oh, like you are, your sleep patterns all
Yeah,
screwed up, which only makes the mental fog worse. Like no libido to speak of. You need to get by Montgomery Men's Health. You only got one life. Procrastination is only going to make this worse. Call them up today at 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or visit MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Hi there, I'm Madeline Cannon with Alabama Home Mortgage. Getting pre-approved is the first step towards home ownership. People are often scared or nervous about taking that first step, but I'll tell you, it's nothing to be scared of. At Alabama Home Mortgage, we will take the first step and every step along the way with you. Call us at 567-4223. We will gather the information needed to tell you exactly what you qualify for. After a call to Alabama Home Mortgage, you will know what price point to shop for, what down payment is required, if any, and what your monthly mortgage payment will look like. We take all the guessing out of it. Then, when you find the house you want to make your home, you are ready to make an offer. Along with your offer, you will submit your Alabama Home Mortgage pre-approval letter. This shows sellers that you've already taken the steps necessary to ensure that you qualify to purchase their home. Wait no longer. It's time to take that first step together. Call me at 567-4223 or start the process online at myalabamahomemortgage.com.
That's Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
Looking for insurance, or maybe you're just not satisfied with your current carrier? How does quality coverage with local service and competitive rates sound to you? The folks at Stark Agency offer just that. Whether you need insurance for your business, car, home, or life, Stark Agency can help. As an independent insurance agency with over 20 of the top insurance carriers, Stark is sure to find the perfect match for you and your loved ones. Visit their site at starkagency.com or give them a call at 334-263-5535 for a quote today.
This is David Ernest from the Health and Wealth Show. We like to cut up and have fun, maybe poke a little fun at some politicians, but we don't take ourselves too seriously. One thing we do take seriously is your personal finances and your plans for retirement. You can tell by listening, we're a little different. Yeah, we like to have a good time on the radio, but we're dead serious about your financial future and helping you achieve your goals. At Ernest Financial, we're committed to giving you the attention you need. We don't treat you like a number. You're way more important to us. At Ernest Financial, it's about helping you today and preparing you for tomorrow. People call us who are on the verge of retirement, and they know they need a plan for the future. No matter where you are in life, Ernest Financial will help guide your every step towards retirement. Give us a call and let us show you what our individual customer attention can do for your future.
Concerned about your retirement? Call David Ernest toll-free at 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Clark Heating, Air and Plumbing.
Hey, this is Robbie Clark. Stay cool with a tune-up with Clark Heating, Air and Plumbing. Don't wait. Schedule today. Give us a call at 334-277-2125. Alabama certification number 09098.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. It is not fall yet, but this is a nice little preview. Tonight, partly cloudy, pleasantly cool. Overnight low temperature down to about 62 by dawn. More sun, comfortable humidity tomorrow with a high temperature up to about 87, with the risk of scattered showers and thunderstorms holding off till Friday. In the meantime, we're going to enjoy this pattern from the Blue Water Weather Center. This is Rich Thomas.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. And want to give our guest here, Troy Carrico, the floor, because you've got an op-ed you just penned, and it's about kind of screwing the pooch when it comes to broadband here in the state.
Yeah, and on the live chat, oddly enough, I'm getting people writing, talking about their distaste for the download speeds in Alabama. Let's go and jump into this. It's called The Digital Divide, Ivy's epic fail on Alabama broadband lifeline. Hey, girl, stop what you're doing. Hey, girl, you'll drive me to ruin. Communication breakdown. It's always the same. I'm having a nervous breakdown. Drive me insane. That is in honor of you. Led Zeppelin, communication breakdown. Sit right down and I will tell you a tale of colossal catastrophe, courtesy of Governor Kay Ivey. And hang on here. There we go. Sorry there. And her cronies in the legislature. As a seasoned intelligence operative with expertise in critical infrastructure honed through nearly 5 combat tours and numerous clandestine assignments worldwide for the DIA and the Iraqi Survey Group, I've assessed threats to national security in the form of critical infrastructure from Baghdad to Bagram, and the situation report I have for Alabama is unsatisfactory. I have both safeguarded and attacked vital information systems in my career, defending against sabotage and disruption in the most hostile environments imaginable. But nothing prepares you for the outright betrayal that is happening right here in Alabama, where our leaders have fumbled and funneled billions in federal dollars and funds meant to fortify our rural communications and high-speed internet infrastructure. This isn't just a failure. It's a dereliction of duty, a criminal enterprise that's leaving our citizens isolated, stranded in our economy, crippled, and our future in jeopardy, and leaving me completely unhinged, Joey, in South Montgomery County. Let's lay out the facts, raw and unfiltered, because true intelligence products are timely, actionable, and accurate, not contrived stories from politicians or excuses from staffers. The federal spigot opened wide for Alabama, starting with nearly $6 million of seed money in December of 2022 for a, quote, Internet for All program, planning grants under the bipartisan infrastructure law. Then came another $191.9 million from the U.S. Treasury's Capital Projects Fund in January 2023 to connect up to 55,000 rural households and businesses. By October 2024, Joey, we scored federal approval for a massive $1.4 billion, that's B with a billion, from the Broadband Equity Access and Deployment, BEAD program, with applications opening in April of 2025, deadlines hitting for May 22nd, 2025. Add in the American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA injections of another $53.5 million in June 2024, another $148.3 million in February 2024, another $42 million in September 2024, and even a fresh $6.2 million in July 2025 for mid-mile projects that remain uncompleted. That's over $1.5 billion funneled through the Alabama Department of Economic and Community Affairs, ADECA, to lift up our rural areas out of the connectivity dark ages. You ask where is the progress after all that treasure given? Alabama's rural connectivity ranks at a dismal 44 out of 50 nationally for broadband coverage, speed, and availability per Broadband Now's 2025 data. We're scraping the bottom at 45 for high-speed internet access, according to America's Health Rankings. Over 23% of rural residents in the state of Alabama still lack any form of high-speed internet service, compared to just 1.2% in urban spots. Our average download speed, Joey, a lackluster 345 megabytes. I'll say that again, 345 megabytes. We're not talking gig. Trailing far behind neighbors like Georgia and Tennessee, who are surging ahead in digital infrastructure and economic booms. Rural Alabamians are stranded on a remote technological frontier, a maroon of sorts, with unreliable connections that can't handle basic streaming, let alone remote work or telemedicine. And here's the kicker. In my line of work, I've operated in third world hellholes where cellular and internet services was leagues better than what I was getting in the garbage down in South Montgomery County. Reliable enough to coordinate ops in war zones, yet Alabama's rural signals drop like fat kids in the middle of August at a high school band camp. This reeks of criminality, plain and simple. Governor Ivey, State Senator Clay Schofield pushing broadband since 2017, and Representative Terry Sewell hyping $188 million in 2024 connecting us, has presided over this mess. State audits in June of 2025 exposed alarming misuse of public funds statewide, while officials demanded stricter reporting on almost $400 million in broadband dollars and glacial rollout. Where did the money vanish to? Diverted to cronies with favorable contracts, squandered on necessary fluff. I call for an immediate criminal probe, indictments for fraud, embezzlement if the trail leads there. These aren't abstract dollars we're talking about. They're quantifiable federal funds, and they're our lifeline to prosperity. Take my situation right now in Montgomery County, Joey, the state's capital county. I'm stuck on prehistoric 3-wire DSL that uses a hamster on a wheel to generate bandwidth. I can see the puzzled look on most of the readers or listeners' faces. What's 3-wire DSL? Well, it comes in on standard phone line. That's right, RG11 phone line. Let that marinate in your brain housing group. I've said ad nauseum, I had better internet services and cellular services and infrastructures in such exotic travel getaways as Djibouti, Afghanistan, Turkmenistan, Iraq. If critical infrastructure experts like me can't get decent service in the heart of Alabama, what hope is there for those in the deep bush? Who in the right mind, Joey, would launch a business here when uploads fail mid-pitch, calls drop, and the prospect of broken video feeds is daily? We're bleeding talent and losing investment capital to states that prioritize connectivity. Blame Ivy's geriatric fog at 80 years old. She's out of touch. I doubt she even knows how to use her phone. With tech imperative driving modern economics, it is doubtful she even knows what critical infrastructure consists of, or let alone the advantage of fiber optic backbones properly deployed throughout the state. Her dim grasp has us lagging Mississippi and their bold governor's technology-centric visions, Georgia's tech explosion, and Tennessee's rural fiber feats, dooming us to economic irrelevance. In closing, Ivy's legacy is a dumpster fire of squandered billions, digital isolation, and failed leadership. She's a has-been who betrayed Alabama so many times. She should be ashamed and indicted for those misdeeds and rebuild this brand with warriors and leaders who cherish and invest in critical digital infrastructure, not ancient relics who let it crumble.
I got to say, I think Kay Ivey turned you into a dragon because you're breathing fire over there on this. And no, that's ridiculous. $1.5 billion, and you still.
It's unacceptable.
What's the show
How
for
do
that?
we get to the moon and you're still running on DSL?
Listen, we're talking about my DSL. Don't talk about the moon. No, I'm joking. Listen, guys, Pamela, Joey knows it. I might drop calls all the time. If you call me, I'll have to go stand up on a hill over the side. And listen, I am literally off 31 in Montgomery County. I've tried Verizon, tried AT&T. You know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you have. So
it's a shame.
It is ridiculous.
Because honestly, the great rural parts of the state could be ideal for like a podcast studio.
I mean,
or all sorts of entertainment studios. Like, I mean, music studios. Like, there's all sorts of options.
Tennessee and Georgia have done the entertainment. We don't have any. We have no. If you look at the broadband connectivity maps, our backbones are disconnected. We've got a lot in Huntsville. We got a lot down in Mobile. We got a little bit right here.
Yeah.
We've got a bunch up in Tuscaloosa. Obviously, we got it at Auburn. But the rest of the states, who is going to start a business in their right mind anywhere out there?
Right. and you need to have this platform to build on top of. And you think, oh, we're on top of it. Look at all the money we've allocated. And then, like, again, what do you have to show for it? What a mess. And why didn't it happen earlier? Like, you're talking about 2024, all these monies are finally being deployed. And you look into like the way the federal government did the grants and stuff. That's a whole other story of bureaucratic nightmare.
That ARPA is another nut roll.
Yeah.
You're right.
Anyway, we got to hit this break. Appreciate that.
Cool. Thank you for letting me read it.
We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Do you have real estate problems? Whether you're facing foreclosure, inherited a property, or have costly repairs, we understand. At Rapid Fire Home Buyers, we're here to help. Any condition, any situation, we'll give you an honest cash offer for your home so you can move forward. Because when real estate problems cause you uncertainty, you deserve a solution you can trust. Any condition, any situation, we're here to help. Give Rapid Fire Home Buyers a call today at 334-675-1000. That's 334-675-1000.
Hi, this is Jeff Mallinson with Georgia Floors Direct, and I want to talk to you about Blue Water Broadcast and how they've helped my business spread the word. As every small business owner, I have to look at my advertising dollars carefully, and Blue Water Broadcast helps me get the most for every dollar I spend. I'm so glad to be a part of Blue Water Broadcasting and what they bring to Montgomery.
Radio works. It's as simple as that. Call us to find out how radio can work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing today?
Man, I'm great. How about you guys?
Oh, life's good. Life's real good.
Everything in the city settled back down. Life is good in Prattville again.
Well,
it's always nice the day after election, especially if your name's not on the ballot.
Oh, here. And also, I failed to mention it. I thought it was going to happen, but congratulations to Bill Gillespie.
Yeah.
Winning re-election.
Yeah, he did really good. I sat down and talked to him this morning in his office. He's got some great plans coming up, and I'm excited for the next 4 years.
Isn't it nice to not be on the city council?
It is so nice.
Well, Pam, you didn't know this, but Ray's running for Senate. I think he's going to be announcing soon.
Sure
he was talking about some things yesterday.
To do anything like that.
I don't need to do that. I did have a reporter one time when I was on the council ask me, she said, would you, as a politician, would you take a bribe? I said, yes, ma'am. What are you offering? She said, excuse me, I'm a reporter. I'm not offering it. I said, I'm sorry, I got it confused. But if you offer me money, I probably would take it.
Isn't that what they all do?
Yeah, I was just going to say, you're on the right track.
Yeah. Then she said, she said that. Then she goes, but sir, I'm a reporter. I'm like, do you want an honest politician or you want me to lie to you? That's the reason I said no. If you're in the Senate, there ain't no way they're not taking money, except for I would say Tommy Tuberville.
Yeah.
I can't ever see him taking a dime because he don't need it.
But you're honest in your business practices. I know that because I've been in your shop.
Absolutely. We're going to be honest all the way up front. We're going to give you a price when you first walk in the door. Say, this is what it's going. That's why I'm always saying, hey, let us come measure. Let us come measure. So when you come in, we're looking at this amount of money for this amount of money for that. The only thing that ever maybe catches us, and what we tell you if you're doing a wood floor or vinyl, you can't see the slab, so we don't know what the Ardex is going to cost the self-leveling. But we always keep that really, really low for the customers, and next thing you know, you got a floor down. Just that simple.
Folks, that number 285-8117. Call them up there at 285-8117, and be sure to say, "Hey, I heard Ray Bowles on the radio saying he's going to run for Senate."
No. You'll never see a Ray Bowles sign out there anywhere as long as I live. Angie said she'd divorce me if I did it.
You married up, man.
Guys, have a great day.
Appreciate it, Ray.
Buddy.
So, did we learn anything today?
I'm going to quiz you guys. What song is this? Dreaded sunny day. I'll meet you at the cemetery gates. Keats and Yates is on your side, but Wild is on mine.
Oh no.
Oh, I don't know.
You guys are Smiths. I thought you guys liked the
Smiths.
Cemetery gates, dude.
I was gonna guess the Smiths.
Yeah,
just knowing
but
you.
you guys are my part of my tribe, the Smiths tribe. Robin listens.
Joey wore
Robin,
black today.
Robin
again.
will hear it. I know.
I know.
Because look, I've got.
I do like the hat.
You
I
are
have
wearing a
I have
cowboy
a hat
hat.
just like that.
I've been in the field. But listen, I beat my plowshares, Joey, for you, and brought swords into the studio.
Speaking of beating plowshares, I didn't get to this New York Times story. The headline reads, Donald Trump's big gay government.
Big gay government. Is that happy gay or
no? It's like it is a deep dive into like how many folks who are openly gay work for the Trump administration and how that
who cares
rubs up against like all the Democrat
the
gays
MAGA,
how like, but apparently like they hold court, they're doing all right. A lot of MAGA gays.
There's nothing. Listen, you know what?
Because
Do we
Republicans
really
are actually
important?
diverse.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? The gay community is tired of the ash in the trash and the freak community.
Oh, yeah.
And you talk about black fatigue, there's gay fatigue.
Yeah,
No, I was reading an article
they're
about it.
making it a perversion.
They're making it really, it is. And
They're
like,
ruining
we
the
have
culture.
responsibility. We have good jobs. We build houses and stuff. You guys are freaks.
It's their whole identity instead of just an aspect of them. It's ridiculous.
Like anti-human, yeah.
Yeah, the guy they profile, he's a high-ranking official in the Department of Energy named Charles Moran. Mr. Moran, who's 44, is kind of the head of the new power drive in the Capitol. The gay men of the Trump administration. These are the A gays.
The A gays.
They're mostly out. They're proud to work for President Trump, and they have big jobs inside or alongside the administration. They wield influence all over town, from the Pentagon to the State Department to the White House to the Kennedy Center. We're like Visa, Mr. Moran said, everywhere you want to be.
Hey, you not like the little bald-headed guy with the lipstick that stole the.
Oh,
no,
creeper.
yeah, that guy.
He's a creeper. He's like one of those.
Yes.
But it's one of these reports where they're like sitting down with him. He sipped a dirty vodka martini and surveyed the room.
In the office?
Two Republican men. No, it's like this big
he's
hangout.
smoking, he's got a cigarette in his mouth.
Two Republican men waved at him from across the club. He goes, both gay. This was also true of the middle-aged Trump appointee who ambled over a moment later to catch up, but apparently not so for the young-looking White House aide who approached a few minutes after that. Straight as an arrow, Mr. Moran said.
That's hilarious.
He laughed and added, I hang out with my straights just as easily as I hang out with my gays.
I'm okay with that.
And it does get into like how the Democrats folks are like, y'all are traitors and self-deluded, and how could you stand for these things? And they're like, what are you talking about? Their point of view is like, we won.
Yeah.
We won our rights fight. Like, what are y'all still complaining about?
I bet you that Moran, with the young guys that he come in and did Sesame, he goes, hey, you want to go shopping at TJ Maxx after work? Sorry. That's my joke.
272-9228 if you want to get in the last 2 minutes. But yeah, it's a very long profile.
That's
I gotta
amazing.
say, this is like 2,000 words.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Easily on all this stuff. But yeah.
What'd you learn today?
I learned that there are certain things the Trump administration's doing that makes me go, I don't know about that.
I'm
like
with you.
Equity stake and Intel.
I'm with you.
I don't know about that.
Take on more debt.
Yeah, and then like the flag burning thing has kind of got me like, what about the First Amendment? Now, the executive order is sly in the sense that it's arrest anybody doing illegal things while they're also desecrating the flag. But there's and I see all the arguments online, but I tend to think it's a property issue. That's what I tend to think.
I understand.
But like, I bought that thing. It's cloth. It's mine. Now, would I do that personally? No. But I think it's a property issue.
There's an argument that Pam and I fought for people to have that right, but there comes a point too with I see the degradation of the republic and the fall of punk rock and all that. We've got to get back to the basics. We need to bust some heads sometimes in this country. I believe that. Keep people in line.
Yep.
People throwing rocks at. Hey, let me tell you something. What's that get you in Israel, Pam? It gets you shot, doesn't it? If you throw a rock at a soldier.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you don't do that. So,
well, we got to get out of here. Happy hour's next, and there's some big celebration tonight.
Yeah, there's something.
Yeah, there's something going on.
Something to do with Greg?
Yeah, like a little 20-year thing.
20 years?
That's
20 years in Montgomery?
Yeah.
No,
Well, on the
No.
afternoon show, he
Yeah,
already
wow,
did
that's
20
amazing.
years in the morning. He's
That's
got 20
amazing.
years in the
Oh,
afternoon
okay.
now.
And he still looks like he's 18 and never been kissed.
Well, y'all stay tuned. Mr. 20 Years will be on
That's
next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. A man in his 20s opened fire this morning during Mass at a Minneapolis Catholic school, killing 2 children, injuring 17 other people before killing himself. Minneapolis police say the shooter, armed with a rifle, shotgun, and pistol, approached the side of the church and shot through the windows toward the children that were sitting in the pews during Mass at the Annunciation Catholic School. The shooter is believed to have acted alone. In California, Napa's county public health officer declaring a local health emergency in response to the picket fire, warning that toxic debris inside the 6,800